Championship Television. With 7 national titles, the gridiron supremacy at Oklahoma has been passed from generation to generation. From Bud Wilkinson to Barry Switzer. From Billy Sims to Brian Bosworth. The Sooners dynasty is second to none. With 6 national titles, the Alabama Crimson Tide have a storied tradition of their own. From the legendary Bear Bryant and the flamboyant Joe Namath. The names have changed, but the tide has continued to roll. Two of college football's greatest dynasties meet for the first time ever in a regular season game. And welcome to the Hartford pregame show. John Saunders alongside of Terry Bowden. You know, making predictions is what college football is all about. You made one last week. Oklahoma, one of your teams to go to the national championship.
John, they have the best defense in the country. Their running game much better than last year, but the key to the championship is quarterback Jason White. He's got to play with poise, don't turn the ball over. Remember 2 years ago, Josh Heupel, their quarterback, not good enough to make it in the NFL, but he had great poise and he never turned the ball over.
These teams have combined for 13 national championships. A couple of scores before we get you out to the game. Michigan, all over Western Michigan, 35-12. Navarre with 4 touchdown passes, and Ohio State blast Kent State 51-17. Maurice Clarett, the freshman, had a touchdown rushing and also receiving as well. We'll keep you up to date on all the scores throughout the day and see you at halftime. Alabama and Oklahoma coming up next.
The Hartford pregame, brought to you by The Hartford. Always thinking. We'll be back with the kickoff after this message.
Two of the most storied programs in college football history square off in Norman, Oklahoma. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide against the Sooners of Oklahoma. Alabama coach Dennis Franchione is down below with Jack Arute. Jack?
Well, Coach, you're going up against one of the toughest defenses in all of college football. How do you get your offense started?
Well, we got to have success on first down, and we've got to mix it up. Maybe give them some things that they haven't seen for a little while, and you know, we still got to block them. We got to execute. They're very good at what they do, and we've got to play good.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
The Crimson Tide of Alabama take on Oklahoma for only the 3rd time in history and the 1st time ever in the regular season. Roll Tide. Gary Danielson, we got a whole lot of crimson in the crowd today, my friend. Listen, Alabama has the one thing you must have in this environment, an experienced quarterback.
Yeah, that's right, Brent. I mean, Tyler Watts has been through it all. SEC championship one year, been injured a couple of times, and what he has mostly going for him, his team believes in him. If you're going to move the ball against this Oklahoma defense, you're going to have to block them, and you're going to have to mix it up, and that means they're going to run the option. They've been watching a lot of Kansas State film, what moved the ball well against Oklahoma. I think we're going to see the option today.
And they've got a solid offensive and defensive lines, which gives them a great base to start with here today.
Yeah, and those 5 offensive linemen are battle-tested also, so it's no surprises. They played against some good SEC talent.
Yeah, here earlier in the state of Oklahoma, the Sooners won, but remember, that was in Tulsa. This is their first home game since they were beaten by Oklahoma State. And that classic game last November, very costly. It is unusual for a Bob Stoops team to lose in Norman.
You know, Brent, I really feel the pressure in this game is on Oklahoma. I mean, losing 2 in a row would be tough. They're expected to win this game. Now, if it goes the other direction, maybe late in the game, if they get a lead, it may shift. But early, the pressure is on Oklahoma.
Let's go back down to Jack Arute.
There is a sense of purpose with this team coming out onto the field right now. The Oklahoma Sooners know, as you said, the last time they were out here in front of their home team, they fell to defeat to their cross-state rivals. I asked Coach Stoops last week we saw a running game. 2 weeks ago we saw a passing game. He says you'll see both today.
setting this is for Alabama and Oklahoma to play here in Norman. Warm out today, a little bit of a breeze, and a little bit of a difference with that OU offense.
You know, Brad, last year, even though Oklahoma made a run at the national championship, didn't get there, I kind of thought it was slipping away. They had trouble moving the ball on offense. They were a finesse team. Well, the offseason brought in a new attitude. They're going to be physical. Quentin Griffin is a guy who was an afterthought last year. They tried to throw him the ball. Now they're going to run the ball with him. Alabama must stop him first, and then those big play receivers are still there.
And Jason White opens at quarterback, and like Tyler Watts, he too is coming off a knee injury from a year ago. So we've got a couple of quarterbacks that are back on the mend, and we've also got last year. We can take a look at this, Gary.
Yeah, two interesting. Both quarterbacks injured almost exactly the same way. Rolling to the right, throwing it. Watts tore a groin, and of course Jason White had the knee surgery. So both guys weren't even touched when they had to have that big play, and they moved along. Both quarterbacks get injured at a time. Andrew Zhao came in, put Alabama on a run, but you know the story with Oklahoma.
Alabama will kick it off, and Oklahoma will handle the ball first here in Norman. The punter handles the kickoff duties. Lane Bearden, the senior, wears number 44. Savage and Perkins alongside him are back deep. And they go for the onside to start the game. Bama's got it. What a start. Alabama, a 2-touchdown underdog, decides to jump up with a little bit of trickery as we start the game. And now Tyler Watts will bring it out. Watch this, Gary.
Well, Bama backs up. That comes right at him right now. Oklahoma takes one step back. That is scouting, and that is a message to his team. Dennis Franchione says, we're going at you. We're going to win this game, and they got the ball. And
Bearden recovered his own kick. So a great moment for the punter. Can Bama and Tyler Watts take advantage from the shotgun? Complete on first down. They cross midfield with Tryandos Luke, who's coming off a big game. And Tyler Watts told us what he wanted to do on his first series.
I think the most important thing for us as an offensive unit is to make sure that we don't make any big mental mistakes on the first series, that we're able to pick up a first down or two, give our defense hopefully a little breath on the sideline, and let them know that we're here to play football today.
Second down. There's the motion that Oklahoma expected all day long. This from an H-back. Watts high with that throw. And let's take a look now at our Alamo Rent-A-Car lineups as we settle back in. This is the part of the posse. Ahmad Galloway out there. We expect to see 21 Shad Williams a lot today for Bama. 9 consecutive starts together. We cannot emphasize that enough for the Alabama offensive line. These fellas know each other, and they can open it up. So Franchione's onside kick to start this game. And now his Bama team faces 3rd and 4 from the gun. Watts looks for an open receiver. Got him. First down, Alabama on the roll across the 35-yard line. Sam Collins, the senior from Fayette, Alabama. A 13-yard gain.
Oklahoma went with a 3-man line, but blitzed 5 on the play.
They're working against as fine a defense as there is in college football. No weak link up front. Tommy Harris, the cover boy. Jimmy Wilkerson, the speed defender. A faster model than a year ago. Teddy Lehman moves to Rocky Kalmus' spot and the best defensive backfield in the nation. But now Bama on the move inside the 35, and they got the nose man to jump. This is a free shot for Alabama. To the 30-yard line is Galloway, number 29, picking up about 4 yards, but this should be a 5-yard penalty. Boy, the onside kick has just put the Sooners back on their heels.
How about Alabama? An onside kick and 3 straight passing plays to start the football game. That's a message to your football team. We're not here just to be part of history and a big rivalry. We're here to play Oklahoma face to face.
Alabama continues to shift packages against Stoops and OU. It'll be second down. Make it 1st and 5. Check that they took the penalty, so it will be 1st and 5. Let me correct that. At number 14, Watts, the senior, will move up. Santonio Beard, number 34, is in at tailback. Watts rolls behind him, has him as protection through just a touch high and incomplete. Triandos Luke, the junior from Phoenix City, Alabama, the intended target on the sideline.
And Alabama did not drop a pass last week. Look at this interesting pass protection. All of the linemen are just going to turn and zone pass as the quarterback comes out to the wide side of the field. Everybody turns, pushes with their inside hand, one-on-one. They anticipate blitzes down there, and this is the way to get away from the blitz. Good catch there, a big catch there, but a good catch would have been a 1st down.
2nd down and 5 for Bama. Good protection. There's that experienced offensive line. Watts takes off, will not get the 1st down. Picked up about a yard before the DB came up. We go to New York for a Wisconsin update at John Saunders.
Brand, it's time for the Burger King updates. And you mentioned Wisconsin. They go to work early in this game, midway through the 1st quarter. Brooks Bollinger, 19 yards to Jonathan Orr, who's coming off that great game. And yes, it's the 1st Saturday in September, and we have a team that's 3-0, Wisconsin.
All right, John. Badgers roll. Here it is, 3rd down and 4. Big 3rd down for both sides. Bama squares off against the tough OUD. Incomplete. Brings up 4th down and a decision for the Alabama coaching staff.
Yeah, big decision here, whether they kick the field goal, whether they go for it or punt. You could do anything, and I guess all the fakes are in the playbook, huh, Brent? All the fakes here?
I would say, after you open a game with an onside kick at Norman, Michael Ziefel, the sophomore kicker, wearing number 40 here today. Now the punter is the holder. This will be a 45-yard attempt for Ziefel. He showed us plenty of leg during the warm-up. Former soccer player. This is low, line drive, and he's got it. It's Ziefel, folks, not Ziffel. I'm no pig, and he's just put Bama up by Trey. Timeout. Alabama opens with a successful onside kick. And now the punter, Lane Bearden, has it ready to tee up a 2nd time. And you can bet that the OU return team much more alert about Bearden this time around. The onside kick leads to a field goal, and the underdog strikes first. The crowd grew quiet as Bama marched down and kicked that field goal. With the breeze, he takes it out of the end zone. It'll come out on the 20-yard line. Jason White, the junior from Tuttle, Oklahoma, coming out. And we asked him what he wanted to accomplish on the 1st series.
We want to set the tempo of the game the 1st series. Besides, wanting to go score. We want to get the tempo set for our offense the 1st of the game. We want to control the tempo the rest of the game by the 1st series.
That's going to be a little bit difficult right now because Bama set the early tempo. Jason White back in the shotgun. Quentin Griffin alongside. Trips to the right. They'll throw it to an outside man, but that's a loss of about a yard on that play as Gerald Dixon, the corner, came up. And we take a look at the Alamo starting lineup. Weapons everywhere. You will see them spread the field, and Gary told you about the renewed interest in the running game. Kevin Wilson He was the offensive coordinator at Northwestern. They put tons of yards up at Northwestern. The first thing he did was change the blocking calls here. They're no longer made at the line of scrimmage. They're made back in the huddle. That was his first change. Second down. Tuttle going nowhere. Met by Bama's Freddie Roach, the freshman. He made the big play against Middle Tennessee State, and folks, you can hear the pads already. This is that Alabama defensive front, and it is indeed the heart of Bama. 3 of them are on the Outland Trophy watch list. Johnson, King, and Moorhead. And they got to the point of attack in a hurry that time.
Brent, Alabama was in a nickel situation here, but they started the game and crossed up Oklahoma with a 3-man defensive line on the first 2 plays.
Third down. Trips one out to the left. Jason in trouble, stumbles, and 3 and out on their first series. And again, it was number 8, Mr. Roach.
Freddie Roach, the freshman linebacker, and this was a nickel situation, but again, Bama being very, very aggressive early in this football game. They come with a blitz, an overloaded blitz to the wide side of the field, and that's when Jason White has to get rid of that football. White just has to throw the ball in that situation. Man-on-man coverage.
Blake Ferguson with his first punt partially blocked. This is going to give Bama great field position again. What a start for the Crimson Tide. A partially blocked punt, and Bama works with half a field again. The Tide all fired up.
Log on to bcsfootball.com and you could tailgate with Dodge at this year's Tostitos Fiesta Bowl or the Nokia Sugar Bowl in the Dodge BCS Ultimate Tailgate Challenge.
Well, here's a look at that block. Again, they did tip. It comes from the outside, loops right in. Right here comes in a free run, and it wasn't a slow kick. Lance Taylor, a wide receiver on special teams, lays out and just tips that ball.
And Gary, one of Bear's boys, is real happy because his daddy, James Taylor, was a standout for Bear Bryant back in the early 70s. They played on 3 SEC championship teams, and man, what a proud papa he is right now. And our special teams making a difference here early for Alabama. They'll come from the OU 40. Tyler Watts pulls back, looks underneath, dropped. Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10. Let's find out about the Wolverines. Here's John again.
Brent, as you know, they've never lost to a Mid-American Conference team facing Western Michigan today. John Navarre, 25 yards to Braylon Edwards. Wide open for the touchdown. They open the lead and hold it at 35-12 to go to 2-0 after that big win against Washington last week.
So Michigan rolls. Here, Alabama trying to get something going. Second down and 10. Great fake. Watts goes right straight ahead to the 36-yard line. Now it'll be third down. If we can take a look at Tyler Watts. We showed you the knee injury, bit of a freakish injury that he suffered last year, but look at what he can do. He's the only Bama quarterback to post 100-plus yards passing and rushing in 3 consecutive games. Smart fella. Already got his degree in marketing back in May. Final year of eligibility for the Crimson Tide. Third down and 5. Faces another third down against this great OU defense. Offensive line really doing a job. Dropped again. I will tell you, if the receivers hold on to some tough passes, Alabama can move. The offensive line is doing a sensational job.
They are, Brent, but so is Oklahoma's coverage. I mean, they are there. They have to be perfect throws. They have been perfect throws. Someone from Alabama who did not have a drop last week at all needs to catch the ball. Tight end, right out there, man-to-man coverage. Perfect throw, time to step up. That ball should be caught, but look at Teddy Lehman right there in coverage. That has been the one good thing for Oklahoma so far. They've been there.
Kevin should have caught it. Zifo back on the field. This a 52-yarder. And this time OU swallows it. So Stoops and the Sooners get a big lift.
That was a bad kick. That was very low. The last one was almost blocked at the line of scrimmage when he made it, and this one barely cleared the heads and the helmets of the offensive linemen. Here's the kick. Kind of just punches it right there, and he looks up and almost has to eat it. Now watch, see if there's any penetration. Oh, it actually hit, I think, number 71 right in the back of the head last time, Portis.
Jason White back at that gun. OU stays airborne. Gets 6 yards on that pass to Fagan. He's the senior from Houston, number 12. And here are the Bama linebackers, and you can see on that last play the kind of challenge. Freddie Roach has been active, but they're going to have to drop back into those short zones, help the DBs out, because this secondary needs a big play. Coaches were pleased with how they held up last week, but this will be a different kind of game. White was looking for that little option look, and Griffin is pushed out of bounds. And now let's take a look at our Jeep rushing playbook, Gary.
Well, in order to run the ball out of the spread formations, the quarterback must help block the defensive end on the counter play. He reads them. If that end comes upfield, you hand the ball to the running back and you effectively block the end by the play. But if that defensive end makes a read and follows that pulling tackle, you fake the ball to that running back and you keep it and make them play honest. That makes that offensive spread go.
Here's the 3-man front in the dime look for Bama against the Oklahoma spread. Incomplete, and OU forced to punt again on 3 and out. The intended receiver, Mark Clayton.
Really like Carl Torbush, who's defensive coordinator for Alabama. He also was in the mood of letting it all fly here today. He's gone dime packages, nickel packages, 3-man line. He's been blitzing. Nobody's playing safe for Alabama. They know to beat a great Oklahoma team, they have to bring it all.
The last punt by Ferguson was partially blocked. That time it was kept clean. McBride driven inside the 25. Fumble! And I believe Alabama jumped on it. Yes, they did. Number 7, Sam Collins, I believe, is at the bottom of that pile. Yes, he is. There he is. Recovered it.
Well, the punting game and the special teams have been causing a lot of action early right here. The ball is fielded well, and then just a pop right there, right on the helmet on the ball, and Collins comes in and cleans it up. Almost another big play.
When you play Alabama, strap it on real tight. It's always that way and always will be. There's your coaching matchup, and it's a good one. Franchione, he grew up in the neighborhood. Just a few hours from here. A lot of folks wanted tickets, but those loyal Stoops followers, they snap them up pretty good. A lot of the Bama fans showed up wearing white today. They're down there in that one corner of the end zone watching their offense right now. Tyler Watts. Galloway with a good second effort. An ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. The Hartford, always thinking ahead. Alamo, the official rental car of the American Vacation. And Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet?
That was really about the first regular, normal running play that Alabama's run in the game, where they just lined up and came right at Oklahoma.
Now they put number 21, Shad Williams. And he goes out as one of the receivers, and Watts rolling free through very high. Had a wide open receiver that time. Triandos Luke was running free in that secondary. Part of our sellout crowd on a warm afternoon in Norman, Oklahoma. With Jack Arute and Gary Danielson, I'm Brett Musburger. Nice to have you with us. It has been a game featuring special teams right from the opening kickoff. Bearden's onside kick is recovered by the Alabama kicker. Then a partially blocked OU punt. But they cannot cash that blocked punt in, and they lead by only 1 field goal. They've had chances, so Oklahoma can take heart in the fact that Bama dominated, but no touchdowns. High and incomplete. and the passing game now is misfiring. 2 of 9 for Bama here in the early going, and now it's 3 and out, and this time OU can wind up with some field position.
Yeah, I tell you, the Oklahoma players, Alabama's given them everything, but Oklahoma has, with their man coverage, has just forced every pass to be perfect, every catch to be clean, and Oklahoma has stayed right there. Every punt today, we're going to go snap to foot, from the snap to the foot of the punter, and make sure the punter doesn't cause some of these blocks. So far, it's been okay. It has to be under 2.1 seconds.
Bearden is punting, and Perkins, who returned on bad snap. Another mistake on a special team. He'll kick it out for the safety. And I got to say one thing about Bearden. Talk about a heady football player. He did not hesitate. He did not want that ball rolling free down there in the end zone. He just kicked it out and took the safety.
Yeah, but if it was in the field of play, I don't know where that's going to go. A kick ball. Was that a bad snap, or did he mishandle that snap? He's going to get a safety out of it. There's
no question where he's going to get it.
Illegal kick against the kicking team. The results of the play is a safety.
Ball was looked to me like at his left shoulder, and he missed it, and then he said, I'll give you 2, instead of turning around and giving a possible 7.
So in the first game of the doubleheader, Alabama leads Oklahoma 3-2.
One more look. Let's see how off target that snap was. Yeah, that should have been fielded. Almost hit him right in the face mask that time, but didn't lose his composure. As Brent said, he got rid of it into the end zone and says, all right, I'll eat 2 points. I missed the snap. A lot of times guys make a big mistake, they follow it up with another big mistake. This time they only had 1 big mistake.
And he'll be punting it again probably from the 20-yard line, or they'll put it on a tee over there and decide after the safety you must kick it from the 20-yard line. So Oklahoma again is going to wind up with excellent field position. And despite everything that Alabama has done, Oklahoma has withstood this shot in the early going, and now you get the feeling it just might be a matter of time when the Sooners start to roll.
That's what Oklahoma has going for them. They've been in so many big games. They've got a lot of experience on defense. They've been in a lot of tight games. Big-time offense, quarterbacks, and they're just used to it. When they get in trouble, they just go man-to-man, lock on a man, and say, all right, if you're good enough to beat us, beat us.
Bearden likes to put that ball on the tee. Remember, he kicked it completely out of the end zone before. Savage and Perkins are the deep men looking for a return. If they can field one quickly, they will get a return. This along the ground, looking for the big hop. It's going to go out of bounds. And there is the second mistake. And let's check in on the Air Force Academy. Let's go to John Saunders.
Well, you know, Brent, they can run the ball, but a little trickery today as well against New Mexico. Chance Harris to Leotis Palmer, who goes to Ricky Ameziga, who takes it for the touchdown, and Air Force grabs the lead. That's where they stand at 17-10.
So there the Air Force leads by a touchdown. Here Alabama leads by a point, 3-2. But look at the field position that Oklahoma is going to have after the penalty for that kick going out of bounds.
Now Oklahoma will, I think, start. Get the ball at the 50-yard line. I think Oklahoma now will say, all right, let's mash a little bit. We've thrown the ball. We've run the option. Let's see if we can block these big guys up front and mash the ball and see if the new physical charge of Bobby Stoops and his new offense is going to work.
So far, Oklahoma has run the ball as many times as they passed. However, it has been the quarterback running for his life a couple of times that winds up being a running play.
And 2 option plays already also. I don't know if they believe. It's a little change-up on the defensive front has maybe caused them some problems, but now Alabama comes back with their 4-man defensive line. Good mixing it up by Alabama to kind of keep Oklahoma off balance both on offense and defense.
So the OU offense sprints to the field. White the quarterback. Griffin is the running back. Deuce out to his left. They flex Trent Smith off to the right. They run Griffin on the draw play, and nothing doing. He gained about a yard.
Well, let's look at two of these offensive
Brooks
teams.
Daniels made the stop, Gary.
Excuse me, Brent. Let's look at these teams and talk about what they want to do. Alabama wants them, when they run the ball, going north and south. They want to limit their minuses, negative plays, sacks. And if they're going to move the ball, they have to put a helmet on the back linebackers and defensive backs. OU, balance. Not just throwing, not just running. Physical is the word this year. And basics. Last week, 5 drop balls. They cannot repeat that again this week.
Second down, that inside shuttle pass to Griffin. That's short of a first down. They're still going to need a couple. And Wayne Bacon, the strong safety, the senior from Maryland, up to make the stop. But Jason White, injured a year ago against Nebraska, facing the 3rd and 3, grew up here in Oklahoma. Threw a couple of picks and admitted that they were both his judgment errors last week. And now facing a 3rd and 3 in an effort to keep this drive going. Takes it away from Griffin, running to the right. He is cut off, hit on the release, and is caught for a first down. How about that catch down there? Mark Clayton and Fagan were working in the area, and Fagan made the catch.
Well, this was a prayer. This one could have been caught by anyone. Anyone in crimson. Could have been one of his own guys in crimson, or it could have been Bama in crimson, because on the bootleg coming out to the wide side, Jason waits a little too long, and then he gets in trouble. He gets closed very quickly by the defensive back, throws it up for grabs, and then Fagan goes up and says, I'm the athlete here, I'm going to go get it.
Wayne Bacon almost got there for Bama. Hit him on the release, but it's a first down. OU inside the 35-yard line. Going end zone. Touchdown! Oklahoma! Mark Clayton, the sophomore from Arlington, Texas, on the home run ball, and OU leads for the first time.
They're just going to throw it up on Bolden. The ball gets up in the air. It's slightly underthrown. There's a little hand-to-hand combat. Herschel Benson falls down, and Clayton, the true sophomore, who worked his way in the lineup last year as a freshman, comes up with 6 and now 7 points.
Trey DiCarlo adds the extra point. A 32-yard scoring strike from junior Jason White boosts Oklahoma to the lead 9-3. Clayton working one-on-one, separated just at the end, and the Sooner Schooner is rolling around Norman in celebration. And when we talked to Jason, he said, my favorite play is the long ball. Just listen.
I like to throw the deep balls because one pass you could go 90 yards, and all you got to do is throw it up and sit back and watch the receiver run with it. So I think that's the greatest play in our offense is our deep ball.
And he was able to watch it all the way. He was not hit on the release. He was standing up tall as Clayton pulled it in the end zone. And OU leads for the first time. Number 9, Clayton, only a sophomore.
Yeah, true sophomore. And there was a little pushing and shoving going on right there, and Bolden fell down, and I guess it's a good no call, but you know, remember again the 3rd down play when White comes out and kind of throws it up for anyone, and that keeps the chains moving to get another chance to go first down. Also, Chuck Long has said this year he wants to throw the ball deep and take advantage of his athletes outside.
Back there with Williams, fielded at the 7-yard line by Ray Hudson. Slips him down about the 29-yard line.
Talking about what kept this drive alive. This is a bootleg play. White is going to go to the outside right there, and he gets pressured and just barely gets the throw off as Wayne Bacon comes. Watch number 24 get him just as he lets it go. This is a wounded duck prayer. Almost anyone could have got it, but your receivers are better than their DBs. He gets the big first down.
if we want to make a position difference in this game, Gary, the OU receivers have made tougher catches, and the Alabama receivers have dropped some balls they should have held on to. That's a big difference in this football game.
3 drops so far for Alabama.
They come back with the draw play, and I believe that's Beard. Teddy Lehman, number 11, makes the stop.
Teddy Lehman was the starting middle linebacker a year ago, and he's moved over to Rocky Kalmus's position to play that weak side linebacker to the short side of the field. Matches up with the tight ends in coverage. It's a position where you can make a lot of plays from, and Lehman, the fastest of the linebackers, although they got great speed on that linebacker crew, can do a lot. Look at him. Turned interception last year versus Texas on that Roy Williams hit. 38-inch vertical. And how about this? How many years was he in high school? 8 years? How many times did he play in the 9th grade, 10th grade?
Second down and 11. Ball on the 27-yard line.
I don't know if Dan Cody moved first or the offensive line moved first that time.
Prior to the snap, false start, movement in the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So there's one of the co-defensive coordinators, Brent Venables, out on the field. He works with Bob Stoops' brother, Mike. They're two of the most animated coaches. There you see Mike turns his back on, walks away a little bit.
I think it's in their contract. They both have to get equal TV time. You show one, you got to show the other.
They're a great sideline picture, those two. And outstanding coaches. Second down and 16. Tyler Watts, nothing doing. It's intercepted. Straight's got it to the 6-yard line. Bad judgment on that throw. And Derek Strait, the junior from Austin, Texas, makes them pay.
I think you got to give this one to Tommy Harris, Brent. I think the rush inside hit Tyler Watts' arm as he let it go. I don't know if it was Harris or not, but it was push inside. Let's assume Watts comes in. Let's see who it is. Yes, I think that's Tommy Harris, number 97. That ball just floats up, and then Derek Strait, the playmaker, who seems like he's been here forever and is now just a junior, is the beneficiary of that interception that was caused by the arm being hit from Tyler Watts.
Look at this. They forced at least one turnover in 37 of the last 39. At least one interception of 25 of the last 28. Roy Williams getting ready to open with the Dallas Cowboys, who are saying that's the way to do it. It's their great safety who left this team. And Griffin pounds inside the 5-yard line, and Derek Pope makes a stop for Bama.
Brent, you've been talking about this as 2 heavyweights, and I totally agree. But I think Oklahoma is the only one of the 2 heavyweights that can knock the other guy out. I think Alabama needs a 12-round decision right here. They need to keep it close and win it on some type of decision or block punt or something at the end of the game. It looks like Oklahoma's going for an early knockout.
Second down. White in the shotgun. Griffin alongside. Going to throw. Two behind the intended receiver, but he was facing a fierce rush that time. Credit the rush in on top of White, who picks himself up from help from Sims, his tackle, and it'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Sooners.
Defensive coordinator Carl Torbush is letting them come. Those linebackers are speedy. Cornelius Wortham there, number 16, is the guy that put the pressure. And that is the little bit. There's Carl Torbush right there, former head coach of North Carolina. Long time. What, Mac Brown defensive coordinator, right? Boy, now he's back playing Oklahoma.
3rd down. OU still likes to use that shotgun going in from inside the 10. Jason. And the Bama defense is not so fast, Mr. Danielson. Don't you be knocking us out that early in the ball game. We can still play it. We can still play a little bit of football down here, my friend.
$49. I just want to watch it on TV. It's a quarterback design play. The outside tackle pulls. They're going to fake it. He's going to follow the tackle up there. And I'm not playing. I'm just talking up here. That's all.
Todd Bates makes the stop for Bama. So it's another field goal attempt coming up for Trey DiCarlo. This is a 22-yarder. He's a freshman. Won the job late, and this is blocked. Alabama's got a loose one. Scoop it up on a 20-yard line. Out of bounds. It was recovered by Charles Jones, the free safety from Waynesboro, Georgia, after the block by Wayne Bacon, who's been all over the field. There'll be no early knockout.
Well, it's not going to be a first quarter knockout, that's for sure. Another special team play. Blocked right up there. There's number 24 that got the hit on there. Bacon got the block, and boy, oh boy, a nice play to even save a touchdown on this play for Oklahoma, because I thought he might take it the whole distance.
But the question is, can this Alabama offense do anything against the OU defense? They have had several opportunities. Only a field goal to show for it. Now they pound straight ahead, Galloway, and that's their best running play of the game. Next Saturday, reminder to join ABC Sports for an outstanding college football regional doubleheader at 3:30 Eastern. Many of you will see Ohio State take on Washington State, Jason Gesser, or USC Colorado, or Mississippi Texas Tech down here. Then at 8 Eastern prime time, Nebraska against Penn State, or Texas North Carolina. Check your local listings for ESPN.com. Keyword ABC Sports to find out which games will be televised in your area. So huge afternoon, nighttime doubleheader next week. Second down and 4. Bama showed some muscle that time. Again, that offensive line holds up, and it is incomplete. Lehman, the linebacker, dropped off as a pass defender that time, and the tight end cannot get free at all.
No, they've been covering the tight end pretty well. It's had to be perfect passes. They're trying to get the crossing guy coming across the field this time. Luke, number 84, watch, the tight end is bracketed clearly, and here comes the back receiver. And this time, Tyler Watts does not throw a very good ball that time. Threw it too hard, too quickly, needed to lead him with a softer pass.
Alabama is only 1 of 4 on third downs. Here is their 5th third down of the game. Fulgham goes in motion to the right side. Blitz, and there was a flag. Lehman had a huge hole and basically a wide open shot at Tyler Watts that time.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma jumped that time. They're going to pick this one up.
If it's against OU.
Prior to the snap.
Yep.
False start. Movement in the offensive line. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains third down.
Watch Lehman come free on this scheme. It's number 11.
Right there. 2 linebackers crisscrossing, and there it is. The running back had to block Lehman, and I don't think he was going to get him.
Tyler said, remember, this is a team that had, what, 16, was it, Gary, Alabama last week? Now it's a third down and 9. Watts is thankful for that penalty. That would have been a slobber knocker. Over to the right comes Watts on the move, looking daylight, nothing doing. Bama forced to punt again. Let's check in with Jackaroo down on the field.
Brett, you talk about that record-setting 16 penalties last week for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Before that game, they almost practiced every day with referees on the field. So to add some discipline this week, every time there was a penalty, you hit the ground, the entire squad, for push-ups or sit-ups. They're a little more physically fit. I don't know about the penalties.
Yeah, exactly. And snapped a foot down the left that Gary told you about. Jonathan Jackson making that last defensive play. The way things are going, we'll have either a touchdown or a block punt. Perkins is back deep. Bearden hangs one. He's got it at the 25. Slips forward in the middle. Looking daylight. Still going. What a great return by Perkins, who nailed a touchdown against Tulsa in the OU opener last week. Lane Bearden forced to make the tackle.
Well, we think so much about Antonio Perkins that we put him on our starting lineup as the third corner. He plays in a nickel. He had 4 punt returns last week against Tulsa for 112 yards, and that's not counting the 58-yard TD that was called back. One of the best athletes on the team. In fact, we were talking to the offensive coaches, and they said he'd be a great wide receiver if he played on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, Chuck Long's already got his eye on him, doesn't he, Gary? All right, 3 wide outs. White stays in that shotgun. Here's that inside running game, and Alabama read it perfectly. They just absolutely manhandled the front, and Ryans makes the stop. Jack?
Brent, every heavyweight match I've ever gone to, before you can get to the knockout, you got to deliver some really hard body blows. And one of the things that this team, both teams are doing, is they're delivering the blows right there on the line of scrimmage. It's so loud, Brent, that you can hear it crisply on the sidelines. How about up there in the booth?
Yeah, and you can hear the pads up here too with the audio. This Alabama being penalized again, though, Gary. That's another one on the face mask deal.
I'm a little
only a
surprised
5-yarder, however.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. I mean, Alabama playing in the SEC cannot be surprised by the speed of this game. They're used to playing against great speed in the Southeastern Conference, but it seems like when you make penalties, you're trying to do something out of your comfort zone. And right now, Alabama seems to be trying to do too much and are making some dumb penalties.
Torbush's defense has done an excellent job against Trent Smith, number 88. Torbush told us in our conference call that he was a target, that Torbush was one of the best tight ends he'd looked at. Trying to get free, cannot. White in trouble. Roach chases him, throw back, incomplete. And it will be second down. So as Smith comes off the line, they're using speed to pick him up, and he just cannot get any immediate daylight.
Really a lack of flow between the quarterback, Jason White, and the pass receivers. The quarterback does not seem to be ready when the wide receivers get open. Here's Trent Smith right here, man-to-man coverage. They're going to put a guy on him all the time in his face. But when the receivers break open, quarterback is already, Jason White, starting to scramble. He's not hanging in there and waiting for that first guy to be there and make the throw.
Press coverage on Smith, so they run Griffin, but there was a whistle, I believe, prior to the snap. Or is there a timeout?
Alabama called timeout just prior to the snap.
Timeout, Alabama.
Oklahoma 9, Bama 3 here with 1:15 to go in the opening quarters. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take one, too. Well, on our phone call with Dennis Franchione, and all of you, or most of you at least, are aware that they cannot go to a bowl game this year because of NCAA sanctions for the next couple of years, as a matter of fact. But he said, our goal is we'd like for the best team not to be in Atlanta. In other words, he'd like to win the SEC West. They, of course, could not then go on to a bowl game if they won the SEC championship. If they went all the way through Atlanta, they could indeed go on. But Franchione wants to make a statement this year, even though there is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for these Crimson Tide, and they're holding their crimson helmets very high here in the early going. Jason White slips down.
Is that a knee? Did his knee buckle? I think his knee buckled on that one. He tried to stop, and it's very similar. He didn't get hit. It just buckled on him, and it looked like the same knee. You know, he did not have any contact all of spring. Last week's game was the first game. Option coming out to the downfield. They're going to play it, him and Quentin Griffin. Nothing there. Easily could have cut up inside. He plants, and there it just gives away on him. I think you can see it right there, and he starts to crumble his left knee. He's got a brace on it already. He practiced with that brace on Thursday when we watched practice, and oh boy.
Number 8, Nate Hibble, is already on the field taking practice snaps at the 45-yard line.
Boy, grabbing his right knee on this one. Do you see him grab his right knee that time?
This is last year when we were in Lincoln, Nebraska, and just like this one, he's rolling over to the right. There'll be no contact, and he will go down in a heap on the sideline, and he was finished.
Yeah, this
now
year
he's being helped off with an injury, and Nate Hibble, number 8, who was the starting quarterback when last season opened against the Air Force Academy, now comes on to face a 3rd and 4. This young man's an outstanding golfer, as you Sooner fans are very well aware. Fires, but I don't think that's a first down. Well, let's wait till they see where they spot it. They might have given it to him. Gave him a nice spot. Fagan, the senior wide receiver, and they gave it to him.
I'll tell you what's really interesting for Oklahoma now, Brent, is that number 3 quarterback Brent Rawls is down. He has a cast on his throwing hand, so now Oklahoma's down to 1 healthy quarterback and 2 true freshmen who have really never taken a snap as backups.
Nate Hibble at the shotgun, and Jack confirmed it is the right knee. This time, Griffin squirts free, crosses the 40-yard line. He's slippery to bring down before Moorhead wrestles him to the ground. He's just a great college running back right there. Well, we've had a quarter that has been dominated by, folks, special teams from beginning to end. They wrote the statement here in the opening quarter, and so unfortunate that Jason White has now injured the right knee and will be carried off to the locker room. Oklahoma leads it at the end of the first, 9-3.
You're watching college football on ABC Sports Championship Television.
Gary, Oklahoma is lucky, though, that Nate Hibble has experience stepping into this situation.
In fact, he started every victory last year for Oklahoma. All 11 starts, they won the game. But now they only really have one healthy quarterback and two true freshmen backing them up until Brent Rawls, their planned on number 3 guy, can play. And remember, Hibble last year in the passing game took a tremendous amount of shots. He's not a running type quarterback. So who knows if Bama now just says, we're going after this guy and see if we can get a true freshman on the field. Let me put it this way, Brent. In the NFL, that's what they do.
Well, the one thing for Alabama is they haven't been able to muster a sustained offense against this defense, and OU too is having trouble here. I mean, take a look at what Bama's done. They're minus 12 rushing, gives them a total of 7 yards is all they've got. They had great field position on their first couple of possessions in this game, and Oklahoma, on the other hand, with this renewed interest in rushing, they haven't been able to do anything. We just have been unable to mount any kind of a running game here. And now here's third down for Hibble and the Sooners. 4 wide receivers, if you include Smith, who flexed out. Incomplete. They're waving it off. They say he dropped it. Andrews, the defender down there, on Savage.
Well, Carlos Andrews, I wonder if he got his hand in there, because I thought that ball was caught also. Antoine Savage was right there. Perfect throw from Hibble. In fact, our coaches told us when we were talking to him that they had practiced, Hibble had practiced very well in throwing the ball as well as he had. It's there, and yes, Carlos Andrews does. Perfectly comes across with his right arm and got that ball loose.
And Oklahoma forced to punt. Ferguson hangs it. This is going to be down inside the 10. Right there at the 9-yard line. Now, this is brutal field position coming up for Bama with 14 minutes to go in the first half. And Oklahoma leading Alabama 9-3. Our storyline in Norman, special teams and an injured quarterback. Jason White, the Oklahoma starter who threw a touchdown pass earlier in the game, injured his right knee when he went down and is now on the OU sideline. Alabama trailing 9-3, taking over inside the 10-yard line. Tyler Watts on a quarterback option keeps it, and Lehman stands him up at about the 14, and Watts wrestles himself up. One of the things about Tyler Watts, when you watch tape, and you folks down in Bama have seen this all along, when he gets hit, he seems to still lean and fall forward for an extra yard or so. It's amazing to watch him.
Well, he sure did on that one. I mean, because he had some guys hitting him, and on this defense, there are athletes all over the field. We're going to be watching all day. 2 great quarterbacks, Andre Woolfolk, number 17, and Derek Strait. Playmakers, we're going to track them all game, how many times they hit the ball, how many times they're in man coverage. Just watch 2 of the better cornerbacks in the country go to work today.
Strait already with 1 interception. They haven't even tried to beat Woolfolk yet. Second down and short, though. Watts' receiver was covered, and this time he will not get free. It will be third down because of Lance Mitchell's stop. Well, it's time for our Aflac trivia question. This week the question is now, which SEC team was the last to play here in Norman, Oklahoma? When did they play? What year? And who quarterbacked the Sooners? And folks, you won't recognize the picture of the Oklahoma quarterback. I guarantee that.
You got to get all 3 of them to win this thing.
That's right. A free order of ribs at Dreamland if anybody in Tuscaloosa can get it. Third down now and 2. Play fake's a beauty. Got time. Fulgham out of bounds. He got it there at the 32. They're waving it off now.
See, look at that coverage. Every ball has to be perfectly thrown. There's no gimmies out there. You can watch a lot of college games, and you've got a lot of quarterbacks that can just throw it almost anywhere. Here's Antonio Perkins, the number 3 corner. Watch this ball. Watch him close on that ball. That ball had to be perfectly thrown to the outside, had about a 2-yard window, and that's what good defense does. You might not get them all, but you force the cornerback to throw a perfect ball.
Now Bearden forced to come up with a punt. Standing inside his 5-yard line, Perkins set to give OU some field position.
Going return.
Drives him inside the 30. Dances to the right, and here he comes. By the shirt tail from behind. That was a heck of a tackle there. Number 89 had a hold of him as he was going down. Stopped by Theo Sanders. May have saved a touchdown. Timeout. To 3, and it'll be Nate Hibble taking over at quarterback, the senior from Georgia. Garrett.
More of a pocket passing type quarterback. Won the job a year ago. We were there against Kansas State when he took just an absolute beating in that football game, and you knew it was only a matter of time where he might go down. He got wobbly, but maybe a better passer cannot really run the option.
Crimson Tide show that they're coming. Backers were trying to get there. They get picked up. Hibble going deep, incomplete, and a misread down there. Here, Fagan did not hook up on the same page.
Well, that's been happening quite a bit. Seems like the quarterback and the receivers have not been on the same page, even when White was in there.
Got another penalty flag down.
Holding against the offense.
That's only the second
10-yard
penalty against
from
Oklahoma.
The previous spot. Remains first down.
There have been 3 against Bama. Carl Torbush checking his charts to see what he wants to do against Hibble. 2nd and long, and there's the 2 injured knees, if you will, of Jason White, and he's up signaling in the plays to Hibble now from the sideline. So that's a great sign if you're an OU fan right there. He's a fine young man. His sister, I believe it's the University of Minnesota where she coaches softball. She was an outstanding softball player. The rest of his family is here in the stands, and Jason told us his sister was the only one who couldn't be here today. So it is first down and 20.
McCullough moves the ball back to the 42-yard line, where it's first and 20.
Bama shows 4-man rush, and they get there. And why not? Oklahoma led them as they slipped it through to Fagan, and nothing much doing on that play. It'll be 2nd and long as Freddie Roach, number 8, Gary, is a very impressive linebacker.
Very, very active, and he's not just a little sprinter either. He's 6'3", 6'2", 235 pounds. Again, an inaccurate pass by Hibble. They had the slip screen to the wide receiver going, and the ball was thrown so high that everybody got discombobulated, and that allowed Alabama to get over there and just kill the play.
Roach checks his plays after the signal comes in. 2nd down and long. He presses, and then his buddy starts in pursuit of Hibble, who rolls hard to the right, and incomplete. Out of bounds on that sideline. All right, the Aflac trivia question. We asked you about the last time an SEC team came here to play in Norman. What was the year and who was the OU quarterback? Well, folks, you've got to go back in time before you can see that it was Kentucky was in here in 1980. And J.C. Watts. Now, folks, there is Congressman J.C. Watts. Gary Danielson at the line of the day says, you know, when you're a Republican, you just can't have that hairdo. So that was the line of the day. He was just a great quarterback.
High and tight if you're going to run for Congress as a Republican.
3rd down and 18 now. Play fake. Hibble steps away, but back into the 2nd rush man, and there's that defensive line now. Roman Harper coming up for the safety position after the defensive line did its job. I saw Moorhead, I believe, in there, and King.
It was 55 King, Brent, coming around the left side. Hibble felt him and forced him up in the pocket. Give King half that sack. It's not going to show up in the stats, but he really forced it.
Boy, Bama's defense is just not yielding. Well, one quarterback really took himself out of the game with a knee injury. Hibble unable to move. And Ferguson gets this punt off now. McBride, the return man. And was that a violation? No, he ran up and made the catch, didn't he, at the 30-yard line. So ABC Sport, now there is a late flag. But AZ Source presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. The Flame Broil Whopper from Burger King at BK, you've got it. Valvoline's Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. Jack Daniels Original Hard Cola, come as you are.
Disregard the flag. There is no penalty on the play. The ruling on the field is that the return man was blocked into the receiver. First down.
Yeah, when he moves up like that, when he moves into the defender on that play, you can't call that a violation. If he's standing there ready to make the catch and the kicking team member comes in and violates the 2-yard zone, then it's a penalty. There was no question about that one as we watched it unfold up here. Now Bama will take over, 10:48 to go. They're down 9-3 here. Searching for some semblance of an offense, just trying to get their running back squared up here on first down. Fake to Galloway, and Watts might have picked up a couple of yards on the play.
Well, Alabama led the Southeastern Conference a year ago in rushing, and I think they must get that running game going. They're not going to be able to effectively throw the ball all day against Oklahoma's great defensive secondary. Either through the option or power football, they got to get some running game going.
Second down and 8, and the OU corners are licking their chops. Back with the run, and Galloway spins to the 36. This will be 3rd down and 5. And Jack Arute, I can't believe how many Crimson Tide fans have rolled into Norman, Oklahoma, my friend.
Oh, Brent, when they say roll Tide, these guys take it seriously. More than 250 motorhomes from Alabama have converged on Norman, Oklahoma, and they have been partying since Monday. Brent, the last record number of motorhomes for a game here was 35 from the Nebraska game.
Partying since Monday, Jack. My kind of fans, my friend. 3rd down and 4 now. Watts, Fulgrim, and he's hit short of the first down. 4th down, and Bama forced to punt again. Antonio Perkins in on top of him.
Really funny designed play that time. Alabama needed 5 yards to get a first down, basically, and they called a 3-yard pass. Everybody went out, turned around at about 3 yards, and Watts had really no one to throw the ball to for a first down that time. Oklahoma said, thank you very much. We'll just stand here beyond the first down marker and tackle you and let Antonio Perkins have the ball again.
These punters have been busy, haven't they?
Yes, they have. They've been kicking in both directions, too.
Absolutely. Onside kicks, blocked field goals, partially blocked punts, safeties. That was Bearden who whacked it in both directions, like Gary pointed out. Perkins, a dangerous return man, and we got a penalty flag coming down now. And did they let the clock run out?
Yeah, it's not a killer penalty, though. A 5-yard penalty, delay a game here.
Prior to the snap, delay of game against the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 4th down.
Well, at the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team, and Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Well, early in the year, as you talk to college football coaches, one and all will tell you that the thing that you're at risk at most is with your special teams. You just don't have the time that the NFL fellas have, or the personnel, to put together great special teams. And coaches like Frank Beamer have been taking advantage of that for decades down there. And here today, we've had great special teams play from both teams. And here's one of the best return men in the country. What a great punt by Bearden. Bearden drives him back inside the 9. Bobble, loose. But OU jumps on it. And now the tug of war underneath. I saw that back judge with the signal first.
He did
for
signal.
OU.
Yes,
and there he gets the backup signal for the other side. So Oklahoma, they can breathe a sigh of relief down here in Norman, because that ball was clearly free down there.
Perkins catches that ball funny, kind of like, you remember Rod Woodson, how he catches it up in front of him? He catches this one high off his face mask, and then as he looks forward to run, he just drops the ball. He's very fortunate to get this ball back. Very, very fortunate. Now we will see if Oklahoma can run the ball at all. They want to be physical.
It's 9-3. OU leads, and we've got a timeout. Now watch the back judge as he closes in on this. Here's the fumble. Look how close he is on the play. Right there. Now the tug of war. But the back judge saw the football in Perkins' possession. I think you can see it underneath. He gave us the first signal. You can't hardly miss that one. It's right in front of you. Now, it will be that OU offense. First down and 10 coming out from the 7-yard line. The Bama defense hopes to tee off here. They show 4 rushmen. Hibble on first down. And it was stopped now with a flag.
Prior to the snap, illegal snap against the offense. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Illegal snap. Did he pick it up and turn it over down there or something?
I don't know if he moved it too quickly or what, but yes, that ball whistled as soon as he moved the ball up front. And it was not a good snap either. I thought Hibble was trying to hand that ball off, but he couldn't even do that. Here we go. Spread out formation. 4 wide receivers on the 3-yard
your own end zone. Sprinting is Hibble. Wide open is Savage. And Savage muscles his way toward a first down. Well, let's check in on the Fighting Irish. Let's go to John Saunders in New York.
Brent, Tyrone Willingham has just become the first coach to start 2-0 at Notre Dame to start his career since Dan Devine back in 1975. Montez stuffed 33 yards on the interception return for a touchdown that breaks the tie. But the bad news is no offensive touchdowns for the second consecutive game. But the Irish are 2-0.
Oh, that nitpicking, John Saunders. 24 points, John. Give me a break. 2-0, baby. Here's the handoff now. I believe that was Griffin.
Touchdowns. We don't need no stinking touchdowns.
No, we need W's. Now, what a big game that is, Gary, next week with Michigan.
Michigan looks like they're 2-0. They beat Western Michigan today. And
so they go into South Bend, and then the following week, the Irish go back on the road. We'll be up in East Lansing for the Michigan State confrontation, and Michigan State won today, beating Rice 27-10. Michigan State and Notre Dame, I was going to say both could be undefeated, but I don't want to count the Wolverines out that quickly. Second down and 6.
Oh,
Griffin breaks that first tackle, but thrown for the loss. And now it is time for the Pacific. We'll check here and see what this flag is first. We suddenly had an awful lot of yellow, haven't we, folks? Yes. About 8 penalties, and most of them coming here in the last couple of minutes that I can remember. So there's the holding against OU. And now it's time for the Pacific Life game summary here, Gary.
Well, it started off right away as a special teams game, and Dennis Franchione sent word to his team right away as we're playing, and we're playing to win. An onside kick, a block kick, a field goal gets blocked the other way on a low kick, and look at it.
Holding
everything
against the offense.
Onside kick. The only thing we haven't had is much offense in this game.
You know, Gary, I'm sure a lot of Alabama fans are a little bit disappointed in the offense, but I want to tell you, you probably haven't seen the Oklahoma defense as much as Gary and I have. They're working against what we think is the premier defense in the United States. Certainly from a speed base, OU is number 1 in the country.
Sideline warning against Alabama.
Now, yesterday when they came in, they didn't have any sideline warnings because they had 2 cops that just stormed the field and kicked everybody out.
They almost threw Mr. Musburger out.
No, they tried.
Did they?
I held my ground. I'm telling you. 3rd down and 15. Hibble rolls to the right. Fires back into the middle, complete, but that is just short of a first down, I believe. Brandon Jones from Texarkana, Texas, the receiver.
Well, good job that time defensively by Alabama. They said, all right, 3rd and long. We'll give you the pass up to that down marker. If you go past that down marker, we're going to squat on it. And look at the lack of confidence in the passing game for Oklahoma, Brent. Every time they need to throw the ball, they roll out. They don't like their matchups with that rush from Alabama, and when they need a big play, they coming out of the pocket and throwing.
So just short of the first down, and Ferguson trots back on the field to punt again. So here's his 5th punt of the game. Fumble, out of bounds. Alabama has got it at the 21, and that is fortunate for Bama that it went out of bounds right there, because OU was closing in a hurry.
Yeah, but no matter what, and you mentioned the fact that Alabama fans might be a little upset. They're still in the game. They still can win this thing with a decision.
Absolutely. 6:04 left in the second quarter. Hanging tough. 9-3 timeout. Well, Oklahoma was a solid favorite. I think I saw 13 or 14 of the USA Today, and it is 6 right now. Oklahoma 9, Alabama 3. Defense dominating this game here so far. OU starting quarterback Jason White knocked out of the game with a knee injury. First down and 10 for Tyler Watts, the senior for Alabama. They go empty again. And we got to delay a game, and that'll be the 9th penalty of this game. We've had 1 touchdown in this game before he limped out, and Jason White was able to throw a 32-yard scoring strike to Mark Clayton. Clayton separating just at the goal line. Makes a beautiful catch.
What you got to do, you go 1-and-1, you got to throw it deep. You know who's been quiet so far in this game is Jimmy Wilkerson. He's a playmaking defensive end that so far in this game has not made any big plays.
The tackles at Alabama are very respected. Mathis and Britt. And they're doing a good job on the edge receivers. And that time it was Lance Mitchell, the JC transfer, stepping up to make another stop.
You know, it's so tough to move the ball against Oklahoma, no matter how good you are on offense, when it's 1st and 10. When you give them a head start and make it 1st and 15, it's almost impossible. Take them on up front, and then the linebackers clean it up. This time it's Lance Mitchell. They just replace speed with speed around here, don't they? And there you go. We're looking at it already behind the downs. How many 2nd and longs they've had? 8 of them so far in this game. Behind the chains.
Watts hit. And a diving lineman after the ball.
I guess.
And Jimmy Wilkerson came in just as you were talking about him and got free on Watts that time.
He makes big plays, and he makes them all. I think he's at left
Watch
end
the
this
offensive
time.
lineman
Nope,
here,
he's the other
folks.
side.
Take a look at the end of this play. I'll tell you, Portis, that senior from Pritchard, Alabama, comes flying at that football.
Actually, the other side, and a nice stunt play by Oklahoma. Tackle goes out. Jimmy comes around to the inside, right into Tyler Watt's space. No chance to complete that ball.
Watson, the officials coming up on the Valvoline halftime show. John and Terry Bowden will have highlights and analysis from today's games.
Tyler Watts is tough, huh? He's taken some shots in this football game so far.
Yep.
Illegal touching against the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
Well, that's got to be that lineman. There's no question.
What was it, an illegal touch?
I thought it was deflected.
The ball, I thought, as he got hit in the arm, you could have called it a deflected. It hit him in the leg as it came down. They call it an illegal touch, huh? Gee, that's a rough one.
That
Quarterback
is a tough,
eats some
that's
Rydell,
a tough,
and then
penalty
you get...
because the lineman thought, you know, that it had been deflected and it was fair game. He was going after it.
Illegal touching against the offense. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Yeah, just hit him in the leg there, number 78, and the ball really, why couldn't, I don't understand that one.
I don't either, because I thought the defense forced the issue that time. That's why the ball was coming free. But regardless, it is 3rd down and 13. Tough down for Bama. They don't get any tougher than this in Norman against this D. 3 down linemen. Mitchell also coming. They got a wide open running back coming out. And they got dang close to a 1st down that time, as the tight end Sanders able to run to daylight. But this will bring up another Alabama punt.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a screen play right there, kind of like a pick play for Alabama. They picked off Brandon Shelby and almost picked up that 1st down on a very safe throw. What are you doing?
They're all over Mitchell that time. How can you release that tight end and go after the quarterback? That's your responsibility out there, young man.
It's always something.
Yeah, it is. Bearden's back to punt. All right. Here's Perkins again. And he is upended down at about the 17-yard line.
Another flag on the play, though.
He was tackled by Ridings number 50 and Roach number 8. And there's a penalty flag on the play.
Now the head coach, now he's upset. So it was an illegal block below the knee, and the Battle for the Indy Racing League Championship heating up. And Jackaroo, you're going to that.
Yeah, Brent, I'm going up there because it's one of the most incredible points battles we've ever witnessed. Only 8 points separate 1st and 3rd. Marlboro team Penske on top, and 1st and 2nd Sam Hornish in 3rd. This is the next to the last race of the season. It's going to be a wild one.
Jack, you were so good on that promo, you get the rest of them all day. Okay? You got, I just nominate you as my main. Look at this. I mean, he is so upset. Look at Stoops, huh? He is livid about that penalty. That illegal block. It pushes the OU offense down inside the 15. He knows that if you leave an underdog in the neighborhood long enough, they're going to jump up and bite you, folks. And this Bama team's got 2 solid fronts, like we said at the top of the broadcast. Here's Hibble. Complete. 1st down at the 30-yard line. And Savage, the senior flanker, makes the catch.
Savage coming, another bootleg throw, though. Oklahoma is throwing the ball by getting out of the pocket to throw the ball. Have not thrown it very effectively from inside the pocket, and Hibble's done a nice job of throwing some touch passes.
Gary, I don't think they think you can sit in the pocket against this defensive line.
So far,
they've been dominated out in the pits.
Lack of confidence up front.
Griffin. And there's Alabama stoning him. Bacon, that strong safety, hard hitter, number 24, coming up to make the play. And we got an injured player down on the field. Dixon is down. He's the senior corner, and he's played pretty well himself. I hate to see these fellows go down here. You know, the Alabama coaches said during the week, and I'm not sure anybody paid any attention, that Middle Tennessee State was better than everybody thought. And I think that's being proven here today, the way Alabama's hanging in this game against 3rd-ranked Oklahoma. I hope that's not serious. And there's Brody Croyle, the fresh sensation. He was redshirted last year, and Daddy, a big Alabama timer from a small school in Alabama. He represents the future, and it's possible that they're going to give him a chance. He's got that helmet on. 2nd down. Coaches weren't sure about putting him in this game. There's an inside shovel pass. Short of the 1st down, however, and Griffin was the receiver, and Bacon again coming up to make the play.
That has been one of the staples of the Oklahoma offense ever since Stoops came here with Mike Leach, his first offensive coordinator, who obviously has moved on a head coaching job. And a little shovel pass keeps those rushing guys honest. And another counter by offensive coordinator Chuck Long to try to settle down that offensive line, who they don't feel confident pass blocking.
This is a big 3rd down for OU. They don't want to have to punt again. Hibble, top side, no. Dropped just at the last moment by Trent Smith. I thought for just an instant that he was going to be able to pull this one in.
Trent Smith thought this ball was going to be thrown flatter to the outside. Watch him have to adjust. He thinks it's coming out. Now he has to adjust almost off of his wrong shoulder that time. Thinks it's going to the sideline, then has to adjust deep. Would have been a nice big catch, but again, good coverage from Alabama on the play. Just not quite in sync with their passing game.
Ferguson punting again, and Shad Williams back to return this time. They didn't like McBride's action on the last one. Shad fields this one at the 5, finds daylight down the right sideline, and steps out short of the 20 at the 18-yard line. So now it will be the Alabama offense, and here it is. There's your change, ladies and gentlemen. We saw him over there with the helmet on, and Alabama fans have been waiting for this. Here comes Brody Croyle out of Rainbow City, Alabama, one of the most ballyhooed recruited quarterbacks in that part of the country a couple years back.
How about he hasn't really seen extensive playing since his junior year in high school. He missed the senior year with a knee injury, and now his next game after a junior is Oklahoma.
They're going to put him up under center, start him there. Probably have a handoff to the tailback just to get his feet wet here. There it is. And big run for Galloway. You would have thought that OU would have seen that one coming. That's 12 yards. And Jack, I'll tell you, they think the world of Croyle down there in Alabama, my friend.
Oh, Brent, they do. The book on Croyle is he has a cannon for an arm, but all of the coaches say they need to get him some seasoning because, as you said, Gary, he hasn't played in a game since his junior season in high school. They also had to, I'm sure, look across the field to Oklahoma and see what happened to Jason White. And with Tyler Watt's record, they want him ready.
Here's his first throw, little high, but it's a strike and completed at the 35-yard line. That's a gain of about 6 yards to Sam Collins. So Croyle, who was going to see time against Middle Tennessee State, but then the game became so close that Tyler Watts stayed in for the entire game, and now Tyler is on the sideline helping to signal in the plays as Croyle, who represents the Crimson Tide future, takes over here with a 2nd and 3, tied down by 6. Twins out to the right. Here's that running game with Beard. Big hole. Antonio Beard spins. Fumble. Did they mark it down? No, OU's got the fumble. Beard fumbles. Lehman raced back and made the recovery on it. And Beard is arguing that he was down. I think you can see that he thinks the ground caused that fumble, but no avail, young man. We've got no instant replay here.
So does Franchione feel he was down. Good blocking by that Alabama line this time. Lehman gets cut off, can't get there. Now the hit in the secondary, he spins. Boy, I think he's got a point. He was kind of coming down. His knee might have been down, and the ball spins, but it was tipped free. I thought Strait got his hand on it.
I think Franchione may have just gotten a penalty over there on that sideline.
He charged out onto the field, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a penalty against him. That's now you don't want to do that. You're right in the heat here, and you don't want to get your team into a jam. You just don't want to do that. I know it's tough over there, and
doesn't look like you got one though. Maybe a warning.
Maybe not. Maybe it was just a warning, huh? Good. Okay, here we go.
Plenty of time.
OU offense now. Working with half a field. Hibble keeps it clean. Going deep down the sideline. Got him. Touchdown, Oklahoma. 51 yards. And Clayton scores for the 2nd time today. Nate Hibble had him wide open and laid it out there. Beautiful.
Both touchdowns, deep throws to the left side of the field.
Oh, how big is that? DeCarlo, the left-footed kicker, perfect. And Mark Clayton, the sophomore from Arlington, Texas. 2 touchdown catches on the day. The first thrown by White, and the second by Hibble, who came off the bench.
See Jason White go over there and congratulate Nate Hibble on that throw. Boy, we talked about the protection, but look at the protection on this one. Up front, Hibble has time to step into this throw. Boom, put him right there. Look at that. Quarterback, no one in his face, allows him to just lay that ball to the outside and cleanly Bolden is beat that time. No question about a shove off on that one. Bolden was cleanly beat, and Hibble put it right there for 7 points.
And the Boomer Schooner rolls on, and how big was that fumble call now? Right after that, OU strikes for 51 yards after Brody Coyle appeared to have given the Tide offense a lift. Now, folks, now it's dangerous for Alabama. They're down 16-3. They're down a couple of touchdowns here in this game. And they're up against this OU defense that'll really turn it loose against either of these quarterbacks now. Foot loose and fancy free when you get some breathing room.
But Mark Clayton worked his way into this lineup last year with all those receivers coming back. He's a real deal out there. Caught a pass in every game last year.
This is returnable. From the 5-yard line, Ray Hudson. Stopped short of the 20-yard line.
Mark Clayton, second-year player, played as a true freshman. Bump and run coverage. Let's see if he cleanly beats him at the line of scrimmage. Nothing fancy. Oh, a little stutter. Beautiful route to the outside. When you have bump and run, you must use this play. You must stutter, and the free safety has to help those corners on those plays. When the quarterback fakes to the outside, you really pray as a corner that free safety can come over there and help you out.
Well, now let's see what young Mr. Coyle can do. Looks like they're going to put him back there in that shotgun. He had that running game going pretty well.
And turnover now finishes the game, though, for Alabama. They must be careful.
Inside handoff. Galloway's eaten up by Lehman. Great play by Teddy Lehman, number 11.
Boy, Teddy Lehman, an All-American. Tommy Harris up front just blows up that play. Watch up front. The big guy, All-American, cover of all the magazine, just blows up this play, runs into the blocking back, runs right through the tackle, and Lehman cleans it up. Boy, that's when a linebacker should go touch Tommy Harris and say, thanks, Tommy. Tommy Harris so far has caused an interception and got a tackle for a loss on 2 different plays.
Second down and 15. Backfield empties out for young Coyle. Sprints to the right. Fires high, incomplete.
Oh, he's lucky.
Well, Monday Night Football, the season premiere. It's a dandy. Al Michaels and John Madden, the Patriots, host the Steelers live at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Get the complete history of Monday Night Football and a preview of the game at ESPN.com. Keyword Monday Night Football. Football season moves into full swing, and the Steelers, I think I saw that they were favored. Did I miss something last year? And the Patriots going to Pittsburgh going, no respect. The Patriots like the Rodney Dangerfield of the NFL. All they did was win the Super Bowl, beat the high-flying Rams. Hard to believe, huh? Third down and 15.
There's Bassey. Look for him to blitz. Here he comes.
Setting the screen. Almost intercepted. That was Derek Strait, who's already picked off one, diving after the ball. Now it's 4th down of 15, and OU's defense now, they're just teeing Alabama up.
You don't want to get into a passing game with Oklahoma. Too much talent in that back 7. Their linebackers run like safeties, their safeties run like corners, and their corners run like track stars.
So what you're saying is you got to take it one at a time. You got to be patient.
You have to be patient. Keep it a tight game. Win it at the end.
Yeah, you're not in the last quarter. You're at the end of the second quarter. After it and almost blocked. So Nate Hibble's 51-yard scoring strike to Mark Clayton has really changed this football game completely.
How about that fumble right before that pass, too? That was a big... I thought Alabama finally had something going a little bit. A first down, another first down on that run. And then on Derek Strait popped that ball loose, and big play right after a first down. Chuck Long goes for the deep one and gets it. Here is that fumble one more time. See, straight number 2 gets his hand on the play, and he knew it was a fumble right away, and then boom, go down the sideline with a stutter. And Chuck Long said his idea this year was we need to throw the ball down the field more. Too much dink and dunk last year. Wanted to let his big athletic receivers make some plays.
Now let's see what Hibble and the Sooners come up with again. There's that sprint left, throw underneath to Savage.
The pass is complete to Antoine Savage.
So there's our doubleheader next week here on ABC. Some good games around the country then in prime time.
Now, Oklahoma has all 3 of their timeouts here on 2nd and long. It might have been time to use one.
They'll be on the play, 2nd and 10.
Hibble from the gun. Got him open. First down. He had Curtis Fagan wide open on the right side.
I always feel at the end of the half and at the end of the game, the quarterback has the advantage because the defensive backs just don't want to get beat deep. They take one step back. That was the biggest cushion Alabama gave Oklahoma all day. Easy throw.
Alabama doesn't want to give up another bomb. First down inside the 45. Drop it off underneath. Griffin stops the clock. He's inside the 40-yard line. 32 seconds showing on the clock. And the Sooners, with all their timeouts, a few more yards, and at least they get a field goal attempt before this half ends.
Well, Nate Hibble has come off the bench. Got to give him a lot of credit. Remember, we did it last year, Brent. We gave credit to Jason White being ready. Well, Hibble has kept himself in the game to come out, be ready, and go 10 for 13 in this game.
Interesting what Kevin Wilson said. He said that this fall he's had a better attitude than last spring when he lost his starting job. That he really has kept himself in the game, as Gary pointed out. Pump fake Hibble. Wants to go down again to the man. It's incomplete. Wow. That was Mark Clayton, and he had a step.
You know, you almost have to go for that. You just have to. If they're going to play bump and run on those guys to the outside, you got the matchup you've had all game right here. This time, Clayton delays the line of scrimmage. Now, at that point, the defensive back has no idea. Is it a running play? Bolden says, is this a run? Is this a screen? What is it? Oh, no, it's another deep one, and the ball was just slightly overthrown.
Bolden better be ready. 27 seconds now. 3rd down. All the timeouts left. First down 2 would stop the clock. Hibble has got the first down and wide open as the DB goes down. And Clayton makes a move, spins, reaches to the 1-yard line. Oh, once the DB went down, it was hello green grass, 38 yards.
Well, Carl Torbush that time gambled. He came after Oklahoma with a 6-man rush that time. He sent the backers inside, one-on-one to the outside, but they didn't go bump and run. And look at it. Watch it inside. Cross inside by the linebackers, and boy, right away, Hibble says, oh, I like this. Linebackers coming, one-on-one to the outside, and Clayton is just a natural when he gets his hands on the ball. Gets his hands on the ball. He says, I'll just stop this time, turn the other way, and almost get number 3.
Yeah, once the corner goes down on him like that, I mean, it's nothing to it. I mean, the safety was lucky to get over there to prevent the touchdown on that.
Yeah, but you know, Brent, is a lot of receivers don't have the patience to catch that ball, stop, like the Florida receivers. Here, he got inside technique, he beats them, and then he's bright enough to say, you know what, I'll just spin out the other way and make that corner tackle me, get to the outside, and he's thinking touchdown all the way.
He's already scored 2. He's having a big-time day.
Perfect situation for Oklahoma now. They've got 16 seconds and 2 timeouts. Any play in their playbook could be run right here because they have a timeout right after the follow-up.
3 catches for Clayton for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jackaroo, what a day he's having.
Brent, he's having a great day, but I wanted to tell you a story about, you were talking about Kevin Wilson. When he first came here at Oklahoma, he brought a different philosophy, not only about the running game, but about offense in general. He said, every team has a weak suit. He says, we have to clean up that weak suit and make it a strong suit. He says it's learning how to play left-handed.
Kewan Jones in at tailback in the power I formation. Play fake, Hibble going to throw for it. Smith dives incomplete out of the end zone.
Well, he got pushed before he caught that ball that time. That could have been pass interference. Again, 2 timeouts, 12 seconds. You can run the ball or pass the ball. Well, Kevin Wilson might have bought a tough attitude here, but right now, it's 16-3, and Oklahoma has minus 10 yards rushing. They've been doing it in the air.
Now they've passed for 217 yards. As Hibble, here's that option look, dive for the end zone. Marked down at inches away from the goal line.
Somebody's got to call timeout.
Hibble did. He ran right up to the linesman and called timeout. Hibble was all over that.
Well, here's a big call for the coach because they only have time for one more play now with 3 seconds. Do you take 3 points or do you go for the touchdown? It's a 13-point game.
What do you do?
I'd kick the field goal.
I go for the touchdown.
Why did I know you were going to say that?
I let you go first. I gave you your choice.
You go first this time.
I still go for the touchdown.
They have the game well. I think they feel confident about the game, and they probably feel they could do either. But I don't know. I think it gives Bama a lift if they put no points. Does he land on the ball? No, he does not. That's a great call. Just short of the line.
Helmet broke the plane and hit the line, and ball did not.
You're only going to get 1 play. You're not going to get 2 plays. Stoops at home is going to go for it, isn't it?
Oh, of course. Hibble right behind Vince Carter. I don't know if they're brave enough to expose their only quarterback who's healthy right now. But
they don't have another quarterback.
Why not? Listen, they may be changing their mind. I see a lot of personnel trotting onto the field there. How about a fake field goal by Stoopsy?
That'd be a nice one.
Inside shuttle pass. DeCarlo, yeah, say you open with the onside kick.
That'd be nice.
And now we close out the half with a fake field goal. The only problem with this is they're taking too long to get it called if that's what they want to do. You know, that's given the...
Alabama doesn't care. They're playing goal line defense. They don't care. They kick the field.
Oh, the crowd loves it. Here comes Hibble. Now they got 10 seconds to get it started.
It's going to be a sneak, isn't it?
They show the power eye behind Carter. Hibble over the top. Touchdown. Hibble behind Vince Carter for a touchdown.
Now, does that make you right because he made it or what?
Absolutely.
No time on the clock. The last, 2.5 minutes of this first half, Oklahoma puts 2 touchdowns on the board.
Yeah, the game breaker, the fumble.
Yep.
The fumble call. DeCarlo adds the extra point. Then Hibble strikes 51 yards. Then they get it back. And in the final play of the half, Hibble saddles up behind Carter and just bucks it on into the end zone. And Bama knows now they got their hands full. It's they played their hearts out, and look at how good OU is. They're already down 20 points.
Yeah, Alabama needs to get some offense. 64 yards in the whole half of offense against Oklahoma.
Yeah. And it looked before the fumble had 2 fine-looking running plays. And let's check in with Jack.
Coach, I got to ask you, did you change that play on that last play?
Well, I was back and forth a couple of times, but in the end, I thought, hey, we got to be able to make an inch, and we decided to go for it.
Seen a lot of passing in the first half. What about the rushing game in the second half?
Well, if you watch how they're defending us, they're standing up in there with 8 guys, crowding the line of scrimmage for the run game. And we've come up with some big throws, some big catches, and that's what you have to do if they're going to play you man and crowd the line.
What about Jason White?
He's out. He's tore his anterior cruciate. So
thanks, Coach.
Keep going.
Oh man, ACL on the way. That's a bummer. Well, a lot of other things are going on around the country. Oklahoma leads here. So let's go to John and Terry in New York. Take it away, guys.
Brent, thanks a lot. And as we come back, Jason White, you just heard it from Bob Stoops. He's out of this game perhaps for even longer. You started talking about him at the start of the day, but this system supersedes the quarterback.
Nate Hibble, the same guy. He's got the same plan. You don't have to change anything. Have poise, leadership, don't turn the ball over. But the playmaker was the coaches that called the deep ball.
All right, second half still to come. Let's look elsewhere.
You're watching ABC Sports, the class of college football.
I'm with Alabama head coach Dennis Franchione. Let's talk a little bit, Coach, about that fumble. In your opinion, was it or wasn't it?
Well, I thought he was down, but I didn't win that argument, so it doesn't matter. We just, bad turnover for us, kind of turned things around there at the end of the half and gave him a little cushion.
What do you got to do in the second half? Are you going to make any changes?
Well, not really. We've just got to block better and keep the ball in front of us, throwing the ball.
Tyler or Brody?
Well, we're going to start Tyler. I think he deserves to come back out and start, but we'll probably play him both second half.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Jack, thank you very much. We get ready here for the second half. It's going to be uphill for this Alabama offense here.
Well, they haven't done anything. I mean, when you get Oklahoma, when you have to attack their strength, which just means they're back 7, it's very difficult. And also, let's say no one's been able to handle Tommy Harris. He hasn't got a lot of plays, but he has been causing huge commotion up front.
All right, let's take a look at our Pacific Life first half statistics, our game summary, if you will, and rush yards will tell you the story. Oklahoma's renewed emphasis, but they have 217 yards through the air. 2 of their 3 touchdowns have been thrown. Clayton has caught both of them. And in case you were not with us in the first half, Jason White forced to the sideline with what appears to be a serious injury to the right knee. Of course, that was the message from Bob Stoops to our Jackaroo before they went in at halftime. So Oklahoma will kick it off. This is an Oklahoma defense that has not given up a touchdown in 10 consecutive quarters. That dates back, of course, to the bowl game last year. As we take a look at some of the key plays, we told you about the airborne attack. When Jason White was in there, he goes 31 yards to Clayton. That's the first touchdown of the game, and then he limped off following this injury to his right knee.
How about that? 2 serious knee injuries, and neither time was he actually hit. The star, of course, Mark Clayton in the first half of this game, and he got 2 touchdowns and then took it right down to the half-yard line to set up the third.
Alabama football, Tyler Watts, the quarterback. Galloway stretched out, and down he goes with Eric Bassey, the redshirt freshman from Garland, Texas, making the stop.
Well, it's been a complete stop by this Oklahoma defense against Alabama. They came out moving them around, but look at every little thing you want to look at. Yards per play, average yards on third down to go over 7, and look at of 33 plays in the first half, only 8 gained 5 yards or more. Complete domination by the Oklahoma, best defense I think in college football. 11.
Second down and 11. Draw play. Galloway spins to the 38-yard line. Well, here is that defense.
Well, they got athletes at every level, and when you want to take on, there's really no weakness. They run at every level. From the linebackers, Teddy Lehman was a sprinter in high school. Wilkerson was a linebacker converted to defensive end, and Tommy Harris is I hate to say it, an NFLer playing NCAA football. And their 2 corners might be the best corner pair in college football in Woolfolk and Straight.
Beard in at running back on this third down for Bama. Fake to him. Watts will take off, has the first down to the OU 49-yard line, and Lehman making the stop. He's been really active. That was an 11-yard run for Watts.
Yeah, off of a pass play again, not by design, but he does it well. But these 2 guys, I mean, they have 1 interception that was kind of forced by Tommy Harris. But you don't even get a lot of balls thrown at these guys. The coverage is so good. The quarterback looks out there and says, I'm just going to tuck it down and run it or throw it somewhere else. Straight and Woolfolk, who's 100% defense this year. Remember, he was still a wide receiver splitting time a year ago at this time.
Brandon Greer and Shad Williams on the field for Bama's offense. Watts again running as the middle opens up, and he goes down before Mitchell can whack him at the 45-yard line. But Watts is now driving Alabama.
Picking up some positive yards, and both of them have been off scrambles so far. So Alabama has not been able to do the designed play and make it work. It's been all busted plays as they move the ball. Keep at it. Game's not over. 23-33 touchdowns. 1 drive at a time. That's what Alabama has to think.
Second down against a 4-man OU rush. Sprint to the left. There's the first down inside the 35-yard line. And Zach Fletcher, the junior wide receiver, makes that catch.
The sprint out has done well for both teams in this game. You're going to see the quarterback sprint out to his left, and then Fletcher comes off. Wolfeck's backing up, giving him too much yardage, and that's an easy pitch and catch, Brent, that at the beginning of the game, had Alabama converted a couple, might be a different tone set on this football game.
Well, Alabama with 4 first downs, and 2 of them have come on this drive. Now the draw play, Galloway. And he picked up 8 or 9 yards on that running play. So this is the best looking drive of the game, if you will. Everidge and Mitchell make the stop for OU.
You watch now. Mike Stoops will now start the blitz. When somebody starts to move the ball against his defense, he'll start to bring his linebackers and put pressure on that offense. He'll challenge his corners to go man-to-man instead of sitting back. He'll put pressure on it and say, go ahead, corners, if you're so good, stop them.
Second down, Bama needs a yard. Power I. Motion out of it. Run Galloway for the first down. He busts his way to the 15-yard line. Some hard running going on here. It's almost like Alabama changed its concept here at the halftime. Instead of razzle-dazzle, fancy motion, shotgun, they're saying, let's just go back to Alabama football and take them head up here.
Well, they came out with a couple quarterback runs, but they did run a draw play pretty well, and this time on short yardage here, that's the best the Alabama line has done, playing, just coming up, turning out, and playing power football.
Sideline warning against Oklahoma. It is their first.
Each team has a sideline warning.
It's like the old illegal defense in the NBA.
Yeah, exactly.
Each side gets one. Once, you know. Okay, now we're square, and let's go.
Let's see if Oklahoma now comes after this Alabama defense with at bringing people and try to force the action.
Collins comes through the formation. Straight chases him, and they run Galloway back. Fumble!
He was
Mitchell, but he was down. The linesman said he was down. And Franchione said, where was that call earlier in this game?
that one was really close. We looked at it, 5 or 6 times up here. We saw the ball and the knee come out and touch at about the same time, and who knows? This one, though, very clearly called by the linesman that his knee was down before the ball came out, and yes, I think that's what happened. Knee came down and the ball was slammed out.
Shad Williams, the lone running back behind Watts. He couldn't quite block his man long enough. Good pass to Collins. And Collins ridden out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 10-yard line that time. Man, Williams was getting a lesson in trying to pick up a rush man that time. Pasha Jackson, the linebacker from Hayward, California, he was coming. And Williams tried to nail him. He slowed him up just a fraction, but he was still in on top of Watts. But Watts made a good throw and catch that time, and now we've got 3rd and 4.
I think Alabama looks at this as 4-down territory. They're down by 20 points. I wonder if they even will kick a field goal.
Galloway close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot. It's going to be real tight down there. The 5-yard line would have had it clean. The marker is just shy of the 5-yard line down there. You got a good runner like Tyler Watts. I agree with you, Gary. There's Bob Stoops urges that defense.
Yeah, 20-point game. You're not going to get many drives against this Oklahoma defense, you figure, so you got to make it count.
Now here comes the chain. This would give Alabama a huge lift if they could score on the first series that much.
There's no doubt it looks like Oklahoma lost their edge at halftime, figuring this game is over. I mean, they just come out with a little different look that Alabama has a little more intensity in their game.
Remember, 10 quarters without a touchdown. Go back to the shutout of, not the shutout, but the beating Arkansas in a bowl game. Tulsa a week ago, that's 8. Now we've had 2 quarters here without a touchdown. Here comes 4th down.
Last 2 times in short yardage, they've run an ISO with the backside guard pulling around and leading. Let's see if they do it 3 times in a row.
Well, they'll put this ball in Tyler Watts' hands.
You think option football?
It's 4th down.
Same play.
It's Galloway. First down. Dives to the 3-yard line.
Same play.
Yeah, you're right. Galloway has been a strong-looking runner on this drive, Gary.
Yeah, give it to them and that offensive line. Dennis Franchione has found a power game here. He's turned it over to that experienced offensive line, and right now, Alabama has more intensity in this game than Oklahoma. They're just Oklahoma not matching the intensity that Alabama came out of halftime with.
Well, up against speed rushers, football men will tell you, and they have for time immemorial. You run right at speed rushers, and that's what Oklahoma is, and Alabama's running right at them right now. Galloway crease in the middle, powers to the end zone. Alabama touchdown. The first touchdown in 11 straight quarters against the OU defense, and Bama is fired up. That drive started back on their own 34 after that ground ball kick, and now the OU coaches and players will have to regroup, and we've got, guess what, a flag. There might have been some John going on in that end zone after the touchdown. I thought I saw one of the Bama players walk up into one of the OU players' chest, but let's let the referee sort it out. No, it's against OU. Now they get a choice now, right, Gary, this year, if they can take it on the extra point or they can wait for the kickoff.
Exactly, but
that'll help them.
I think right now I would just kick the extra point and take it on the kickoff if I was them. They don't need to go for 2 here.
No, absolutely.
3 touchdowns and extra points.
Dead ball. Personal foul against the defense. The touchdown is good. The penalty will be enforced on the try, half the distance to the goal.
No, he said on the
time down.
Oh, there it
and
is.
Everidge throws a punch.
Absolutely.
After the John
Fritz.
started.
Everidge got knocked down late and kind of came up slapping.
Yeah, not wise. Tack on the extra point. And Alabama pulls to within 13.
Power ISO has been run 3 times so far. This one's a little counter off it, and boy, right over the safety that time. When you get to the safety in the goal line offense, Everidge is the first line of defense instead of the last line of defense right here, and boom. 23-10, 2 touchdowns, and you're ahead.
Still got a ball game. Timeout. Remember Jimmy Harper, the legendary referee for years down the South, that great gravelly voice. I saw him here. He's one of the supervisors now of officials. He's retired. And Jimmy said Bear used to say that you got to run the ball before you pass it. You just got to run it right straight at them. They finished off that drive like an Alabama football team. And we've got 9:14, lots of time. Sooners lead is 13 now, 23-10. And you better believe that the Tide defenders will be fired up. Hang it high. Lehman wants a fair catch. It's loose. Fumble. Alabama's got it at the 42. Lehman was signaling for a fair catch. His own man collided with him and created the turnover, and Pope dashes to the sideline. Bama's got it back.
And Smokey Hurst, number 57, did not react well to the pooch punt. Watch Teddy Lehman, bottom of your screen. He signals fair catch. Now watch number 57 takes Lehman's legs out, and boom, another turnover on a kickoff. Alabama twice in this game get the ball on kicking the ball off to Oklahoma.
A special teams story continues to unfold. Chris James credited with recovery. Watts back under center. The nose man, I think, jumped, but he might have been pulled.
I talked about the priorities that Alabama had to do in this football game to be able to do it, and that's rush the ball between the tackles. When they've tried to run the ball between the tackles, they've had some success. 15 times, 54 yards. Most of those yards, Brent, have been on that last drive, though. And they came out trying to do a lot of different things. But, you know, I think Franchione's right. That fumble at the end of the half was big. Remember, after that fumble, that's when everything kind of broke loose on them.
The penalty now is against OU. The nose guard made contact with the center. That cost them 5 yards. So the ball is placed just inside the 38-yard line. Play fake. Watts going to take off in the middle. The umpire has to get out of the way. And he's going to be close to a first down, and there's another penalty flag down on the field. And Alabama seems to be headed back.
This is a tough one for Franchione right here. This was a great call. I thought that Tyler Watts could have put that ball down the sideline. He had his tight end, Donald Clark, I believe, number 93, matched up man-to-man against a linebacker, and you got to throw that ball up. Got a linebacker running with his back to the quarterback, and you got a tight end looking back, able to pick that ball off.
So it brings it back to the Oklahoma 47-yard line. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Oklahoma leads Alabama by 13, but Bama has scored this quarter. Now we've got first down and 15 after the 10-yarder, and they're still straightening things out. These officials have had a few problems.
Who's flatter, Brent, the Oklahoma defense or the fans? Because the fans are totally just flat right now. It's as quiet as it's been all game.
First and 15 for Watson, Bama. Galloway, Lehman wrestles him down. So we're at the top of the hour with Jack Arute and Gary Danielson. I'm Brent Musburger. Alabama put together its best drive of the game. Galloway picking his way, muscling Everidge. And it was Bama delivering the blows up and down the field. Galloway powers into the end zone for the touchdown. Now second down and 15. Watts gets protection, middle. Collins at the 11-yard line. First down. Sam Collins, the senior, makes the grab. 38 yards.
When you look at Alabama's receiver, Sam Collins is usually referred to as the possession guy, but I don't know if that's fair. When they timed him, he was 4.40, and on this one, he goes right down the seam, and this is where the ball should be thrown, right there, and that's exactly where the ball is going to go, right down the seam. That's exactly how you have to do it. Boom, right in the circle that I drew. Perfect 4 deep on the throw.
How this game has turned following the first drive of the second half. Galloway behind the left side. Penalty flag. Touchdown, but there's a penalty flag. Hold on. The umpire tossed it in that area where frequently holding is called. We've had 13 penalties already in this game.
Wow.
And this one costs Alabama a touchdown.
Well, I thought the last penalty was big that put him first and 15, but this, they just keep getting bigger. Sam Collins, boy, the seam route. What a throw by Watts. And Collins just tracks this perfectly thrown ball, keeps his concentration right in between Everidge and Woolfolk that time. Beautiful throw by Watts. His best of the game, Brent, by far. Nice feel, I thought, by Franchione to go back with Watts. He said he deserved for him to play in the second half, and that was a great call.
Now back at the OU 21. Wide open and dropped on the outside. Theo Sanders. You could not have gotten more wide open than Sanders was on that play.
He had about 20 yards of green grass in every direction but the sideline. And the guys on the sideline aren't playing. Look at this throw. This is one. Run through it. Run through it. That easily should have been caught. That's a guy that just isn't comfortable catching the ball on the run right there.
Yeah, they've used him as the H-back lead blocker throughout much of this game, and they saw that no one was picking him up. So it was a beautifully conceived play by Alabama. Now Watts sprints left. Throws back to Fulgham, who's got it at the 15-yard line. And good news for comedy fans, the Drew Carey Show and Whose Line Is It Anywhere premiere early Monday, along with the regular season premiere of Monday Night Football. Drew and Whose Line now on Mondays here on ABC.
Brent, you know, I got a feel at this time of the game, it's when Roy Williams used to make a play for Oklahoma. And right now, you got a freshman, Eric Bassey, who's going to be a great player, number 13 playing. But where's that big play from a guy like Roy Williams? That's what Oklahoma needs right now.
Alabama searching for its own big play on 3rd and 14. Watts had a defender in his face, drops it off to the safety valve, short of the first down. He's inside the 5-yard line. That's Antonio Beard. And let's check in on Stanford. Here's John Saunders as the field goal team comes on the field.
All right, Grant, up against Boston College. Brian St. Pierre, the BC quarterback, steps back, steps up, throws into the flat. Bad decision there. Michael Craven picks it off and sees nothing but daylight. 33 yards for the touchdown. Stanford leading 27-17, just about ready for the fourth quarter, and Miami's up 6-zip.
Here's Ziefel for the field goal. 22-yarder on its way. No good.
Man.
Michael Ziefel. Man. He let the air out of the Alabama balloon, didn't he? Timeout.
2 new corners.
Alabama's had 50 snaps here so far, and Oklahoma 39. And Alabama's doing some juggling back there in that defensive backfield as the 2 corners were burned. Anthony Madison, the sophomore, on the field, and Charlie Pepra will start, and Hibble on the move will take it out of bounds. An ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy. The cars you depend on, the cars that last, will be there. Bud Light, the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light. Sprint, introducing PCS Vision, clearly a whole new way to look at wireless. And Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles, proud sponsor of the Heisman Trophy Award.
Well, Alabama's secondary last year came under a lot of criticism, but you know that Southeastern Conference throws the ball around, and when you play guys like Eli Manning, Casey Clausen, Rohan Davey, they put some yards up against them last year, and it looks like maybe Alabama may be saying, all right, enough is enough, let's go with some youth back there.
Quentin Griffin crosses the 20-yard line on that play, and it'll be 3rd down and 9, and Oklahoma just hasn't done much here this half so far, after they closed the second quarter with a flurry. It's not like they thought maybe the game was over, and they're trying to get themselves psyched back up and better find Mr. Clayton, who scored 2 of their 3 touchdowns. Hibble runs away from pressure, fires high, caught, but I believe that's short of the first down.
Well, Alabama was ready for Trent Smith on 3rd down. They talked about it. They talked about it on the call to us. We talked about Carl Torbush. They knew that Trent Smith was their 3rd down go-to guy. You can see it right there. Gerald Dixon, the starting corner, is matched up against the tight end for Oklahoma, who they say we treat him just like a wide receiver on 3rd down. And they did that, and they ended up getting a stop.
That's Williams back to return this. And he'll get a crack at it.
Good running, baby.
Fine return to the 43-yard line by Sean Williams. So Alabama gets the ball back, trailing by 13, 4:42 left in the 3rd. Folks, look for the Venables and Mike Stoops show to begin. They're going to get all over this defense if they start giving up yardage to the Crimson Tide up by 13. They need to fire this group back up. 1st down and 10. Tyler Watts, who's done a fine job for Alabama, under center. Brings that option look down the line. Now pitches to the running back. And Ray Hudson that time picked up 9 yards against this OU defense.
And here's the play right here. Roy Williams, number 13, would have been the guy on the pitch. It's going to be option to the wide side. And watch, you tell me Roy Williams wouldn't have cleaned this one up, because watch, here comes a guy just bulleting in here right now, and see if this shouldn't have been a tackle. The young freshman ducks his head, and it's a 9-yard gain. He's a 4.32 fastest player on the team along with Perkins, but he's not Roy Williams.
2nd down and 1. Play fake. It's a beauty by Watts. Down the middle, caught on a ricochet. First down at the 26-yard line. And that time, Donald Clark, the junior from Boca Raton, Florida, made the 22-yard gain.
I think Teddy Lehman was the guy who got his hand on this play. Both he and Eric Bassey were right there, but when your team gets a little bit behind the flow here, Mike Stoops needs to blitz to get him going. Here, let's check this play out, see who gets his hand on it. Was it Lehman from the right side? I'm not sure if it was Lehman or Eric Bassey, number 13, but great catch off the ricochet.
Watts back in the gun. They keep Hudson on the field, and he makes it to the 22. And let's remind everybody again that Monday night, it's the season premiere rematch of the AFC Championship game, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Can Tom Brady do it again? And the Steelers will attempt to open with a W on the road as Venables and Stoops try to fire up this unit. And Tommy Harris, for all the raving, Gary, in the first half, he's on the sideline. 2nd down and 7. There's the draw play, and it is eaten up that time as Hudson couldn't get anywhere because Eric Bassey, that redshirt freshman, did it that time. Jackaroo.
Well, Brett, you talk about Venable and Stoops having to fire up their defense. It has already begun. In fact, what they've done is in that last series when OU was on offense, they had a little personal audience with the entire secondary. One-on-one. A lot of shouting, at least one way.
It's 3rd down and 10. Sprint. High, incomplete, and the OUD stiffens up.
This is a tough call here. Do you go for the field goal, or do you just go for it right here if you're Dennis Franchione? I think they're just going to go for it on 4th down, the way they've been kicking the ball.
This guy's regular personnel on the field.
Yep.
This is going to be tough to pick up.
One of the reasons Tommy Harris is on the sideline is because Alabama's had the ball the whole quarter, and this Oklahoma defense is gassed.
They need to reach the 15-yard line. Watts, middle, incomplete.
No, he had
Fulgham open
wide
and
open.
threw behind him that time. Missed a 1st down and perhaps a touchdown that time.
Absolutely. The worst throw of the game for Tyler Watts at the biggest time. Look at the opening right here. Fulgham's going to come out, and he should catch the ball right in the middle. The ball is thrown behind, sets him up perfectly. Look at the open field right there. If this ball is thrown between the hashes, it's a completion. The ball is thrown way behind the receiver, and Alabama is forced to turn the ball over. Worst throw of the game for Tyler Watts.
Now, what Oklahoma needs is a little ball control. A few 1st downs here in this half to rest that tired D. 1st down, Nate Hibble. They're still winging it. Stops the clock and brings up 2nd down and 10.
And we talked about how many plays that Alabama has run, and that was the 4th play of this half, 23-4. And that's why Tommy Harris and some of your key players are sitting over there on the bench gassed, because so far it's been all Alabama. And right now, I don't think Oklahoma believes they can run the ball. They believe the only way they can move the ball is to throw the ball. That's why they did the 1st down pass.
2nd down and 10. Blitzer doesn't get there. Hibble's in trouble. Oh, he's going to be ridden down. Beautiful job by Antoine Odom, the defensive end from Alabama. And let's check in with John Saunders.
Brent, Boston College trying to mount a comeback against Stanford, but the march is coming up a little bit short till this run here by Derek Knight, 9 yards, takes it in for the touchdown, and BC is within a field goal. Still plenty of left in the 4th quarter.
And China, we got plenty of time left too. 3rd down at 15, still 2 minutes in the 3rd quarter. Here's your 3rd down for OU. Hibble on the move. Now it's punt time again for Oklahoma. Do you go after this punt, Gary?
I don't think you need to. You're going to get the ball at midfield. Freddie Roach, by the way, Brent, I mean the middle linebacker, anytime the quarterback comes out of the box, he's coming at him like a laser. And that's why Nate Hibble had to throw that ball before he was ready. I mean, you can go after him. You can just play it safe. You're going to get the ball between the 40 and the 50-yard line once you get it.
Well, Coach Bob Stoops now hoping that brother Mike and Brent Venables are ready for a little defense. Blakes blocked. Bama's got it. Touchdown! Touchdown! There's a penalty flag down on the play. Taylor, who blocked one earlier in this game, just blocked his second punt. And it's going to be a touchdown the way they're celebrating on the Alabama sideline. It's going to count.
Another special teams play.
The offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. The touchdown is good.
Taylor again comes right up the middle and takes it right off the foot. It wasn't a slow kick by the punter that time. Takes it right off the foot. It just sets there, picked up and right into the end zone. Man, oh man, Brett, you smelled it out that time.
Yeah, well, they were having so much trouble sticking it in the end zone.
I thought, needed a big play.
You know, you've already had one, so why not go after the other one as the extra point is added? And I'll tell you,
I think it was Leslie Williams that got that punt that time, number 48. That's who I thought it was, coming from the right side of Oklahoma. Untouched, Oklahoma turns and just lets them have. I don't even think they had the punt block on. They had the return on, and Williams says, all right, I'll go, and Taylor picks it up and scores.
So Taylor, man, what a day he's had as Williams comes through for him that time. Leslie Williams is a junior from Stone Mountain. He blocks it. And Lance Taylor, who blocked the first one, and he picks it up for the touchdown. And how excited are the folks down in Alabama right now? I mean, they're dominating this half against Oklahoma.
We did a game a couple years ago like this. Remember, Brent, we did the Michigan-Purdue game that at halftime Michigan had dominated Purdue, and all of a sudden Purdue gets off the mat and wins the game. This is what's happened to the third quarter. No offense at all from Oklahoma, and that first drive that Alabama put together, really, they caught life over there, and now they believe they can win it.
Jackaroo.
Brent, one of the things we learned when we talked to the Alabama coaches is their emphasis on special teams is almost as good as Frank Beamer's. How will they take almost all their first stringers on defense and offense and make them play special teams? Tell you what, right now, special teams is bringing the bacon home for Alabama.
Yeah, and help from our couple of fellows named Williams and Taylor. Now Tomerdale. Martin Tomerdale has done a great job with those special teams. They hoist up that short kick, fielded on the hop, and Oklahoma will have it at the 28-yard line as Antonio Perkins had to move up on the bounce. And I'll tell you, there's a swagger in that Alabama step right now, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it coming on and off the field, and the coaches over there on the far sideline, they know they're in a ball game now. Tonight on ESPN, South Carolina looks to continue their early season success. They'll take on the Virginia Cavaliers. College Football Saturday presented by the U.S. Postal Service on ESPN. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Oklahoma dashes onto the field, desperately needing something good to happen. The reverse fumble, and they get it back. They almost gave it up on the 20-yard line. Ball was punched as Jarrett Johnson came in there and made the play defensively.
I tell you, that was again Oklahoma looking for a finesse play to get their offense going. They've been running sprint outs, they've been running bootlegs, they've been running fade routes. They can't run the ball. They thought they could be physical and run the ball. Minus 21 yards rushing for Oklahoma. 2 3-and-outs this half.
Second down and 17. Hibbles is going down.
Well, Hibble didn't like that one. He did not look good there, did he? He had his eyes on the pass rush that time from the get-go.
Let's check in with John Saunders in New York.
Grant, one of our early season overtime games, Air Force and New Mexico. Steve Massey takes this one in from 4 yards out for the touchdown. New Mexico, as you know, gets a chance, but this is 4th and 8. Casey Kelly goes to the end zone, broke it up. Air Force wins again, 38-31.
Yeah, John, they beat up on Northwestern pretty good last week, so now they're 2-0, and Moorhead getting that sack that time makes it 3rd down and 25 for Hibble and OU. Sacked again, and this time it was Kenny King coming backside. The defensive line dominating the football game for Alabama.
They're only rushing 3 guys this time. Kenny King, Freddie Roach, number 8, the middle linebacker. As Quentin Griffin goes wide, the linebacker goes right with him. Now watch when Nate Hibble turns to throw. He flashes out to throw the ball to the outside, and here's the linebacker. He says, whoop, I can't do that. Just in time for the big guy to come around the corner to get the sack.
That'll do it. But how about this Alabama team? They got a shot. We'll be back with the Money Quarter after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
You're watching college football on ABC Sports Championship Television.
23-3 at the half, and Gary, another indication of how youngsters can let down after they think they have won a football game, and emotion is so critical.
You almost wonder if the Oklahoma players were on their cell phones at halftime just telling everybody where's the party afterwards, because they did not come out ready to play. And Alabama, I think their theme at Dennis Franchonia says, I don't care. We don't care what's going on. Let's just keep getting prepared and playing. We don't care there's sanctions or anything. Let's just keep playing. Is paying off. His coaching is paying off.
Blake Ferguson's got to try it again, and he gets it out of there. Field position coming up. Sean Williams downs it at the 39-yard line. Well, short field for the defense. We asked Bob Stoops about his animated defensive coordinators, and here's what he said.
We all understand we can all disagree with each other, and that's part of the heat of the moment of making adjustments and getting things right. And they have a great working relationship. And our players, I believe we project energy, excitement, and an attitude into our defensive players, and it comes from those coaches, all our defensive coaches.
They got Collins in a foot race on a reverse. He doubled back, made his way to the 35-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6 coming up for Bama against that OU defense.
That was supposed to be a reverse pass. That time, Oklahoma did a great job of playing their defense, not letting a trick play end up being 7 points. Trondos Luke, number 84 that time, was deep in the end zone looking for the home run ball on 1st down.
2nd down and 7. Alabama trying to generate. Still another drive. Watts is going to pull back after coming down the line. Nobody's open. He'll take off. And this will be 3rd and short coming up. Jimmy Wilkerson makes the stop.
The Oklahoma secondary did a nice job on that option play. It was an option pass play. You get a team tired, and right now Franchione has decided to play a little finesse football with them. 3rd and medium. This is a huge pickup, huge stop for both teams. Boy, I haven't seen a game turn this quickly in a long time.
Brandon Shelby on for OU. They go dime in that backfield. 3 down linemen. Watts comes back, caught, but I think that's short of the 1st down.
I don't know.
It's very close. Maybe he'll get it, Gary. It's very close. Anyway, they could go now on 4th down.
I think that ball was tipped, too. I think it was tipped, and it was a great reaction.
Got it. 1st down.
I thought he had it, and Collins, a tremendous reaction on that tipped ball. Go to the outside here. It's an all-out blitz by Oklahoma. Strakes on him, man-to-man. Ball gets tipped, and watch this reaction. It's a knuckleball. He catches it. Just enough for the 1st down.
Inside that 30-yard line for this Alabama attack now. On the draw, Galloway runs away from pressure, keeps going to the 21. A great run as he got away from Brandon Everidge, the safety. 12:50 to go in regulation. And Alabama has made a great stand of it here in the second half. And this is the first meeting between these two schools during a regular season game. They've met in 2 bowl games. And you can see the yardage this half, how Alabama has totally dominated this football game. Second down. Play fake. Got a wide open man. Out at the 10-yard line, and that is the tight end who dropped one earlier, Theo Sanders. And man, he really wrapped it up. He gave that ball a bear hug that time.
Well, this time, I love a coach that comes back to a guy who blows a play. You just call your plays. The guys can't catch him. You call the plays you should call. You don't call a game and be afraid of someone. See the guy coming out into the flat this time, had it wide open last time. This time not as open, a little easier catch, more in his helmet. And this time Sanders says, I'm not going to drop 2 in a row. I'll have to walk back.
First and 10 for Bama. Just outside the OU 10-yard line. And Galloway tripped. Never able to get it going there as he slipped up on that play, and it'll be second down. You look at that scoreboard at 12 minutes, and I know Franchione and his staff, they've already decided, but the field goal team has not kicked well, but they're only down 6, and if they cannot penetrate and get well inside that 10-yard line, they've got to at least think about Ziefel again. This will be second and goal now at the 12-yard line, so the wheels are turning over there. And Ziefel, who has kicked low here today, he did make one earlier. Second down. There was movement, but he got back. Play fake, Watts again. Harris is picked up. They go back to Sanders. Sanders stopped at about the 8-yard line, and this is going to be third down. Man, Harris was breathing fire and trying to get at the quarterback that time.
Good, sound, smart plays by both sides here right now. Alabama is probing, play action pass plays, power ISO plays. Oklahoma's countering with a solid defense, not giving them anything easy. Look at the difference between Tyler Watts in the first half and the second half. Only, I believe, one bad throw in the second half, and he had the guy wide open on third down.
Third down for Alabama. Inside the Sooners 10. Watts sprints right. He's got daylight. Crosses the 5 and makes it a tough decision now on fourth down. Let me tell you, he's down at about the 3-yard line, and this one is going to be tough. Called timeout, I think Franchione said. Maybe he didn't. Yes. Yes, he did.
It's a tough decision.
He said it.
Real
he
tough
said
decision.
it immediately. He wants to think about it. He wants time. He wants input. They're at the 3-yard line. We'll take a break. Michael Ziefel will attempt the field goal for Alabama unless it's a fake. Made one from 45. The 52-yarder was blocked. This is a 21-yarder from the right hash for Ziefel. Is in for the touchdown, and now Ziefel can put Alabama ahead with an extra point. What a kicking game the Crimson Tide showed up with here today.
What a special teams performance. Onside kicks, 2 of them, block punts, 2 of them, fake field goals. It has been incredible. They have just kept Oklahoma off balance, and that's a great call.
Now
great
for
call.
the lead. Got it. Oh, yeah. What a coaching job by this staff. As Bearden, the punter, who opened the game with an onside kick, dashes in on the fake field goal for the touchdown that gives Alabama the opportunity to take the lead, and they cash in. Timeout. 24-23. Alabama riding its special team success. The Nissan Drive summary: 9 plays for 39 yards in 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Mark Tummerdahl, who played college football up in Minnesota at Concordia, got his first job as a graduate assistant at Wyoming back in the mid-'80s. And you can see what Tummerdahl, spell it T-O-M-M-E-R-D-A-H-L, and send him an NFL contract. This is the most impressive special teams performance I've seen in years in college football.
6 different plays on the special teams in this football game.
And Bearden, who's been at the heart of several of them, will kick it off. What will he do this time? Line drive fielded in the end zone, and Savage picks his way. Far short of the 20-yard line. Gary, this has been unbelievable.
It really has. Started off right. This is the opening kickoff of the football game. Went to the first punt right there, tipped. Great field position, a blocked field goal. You know, they also missed a field goal, but boy, there's the block punt that got him a touchdown, and that happened in the third quarter. Now in the fourth quarter, they faked the kick, did not feel confident in their field goal kicking game. They have not kicked field goals great, but they've made it work. Doing it with mirrors almost with the field goal kicker.
Now it's up to Oklahoma. They have not done a thing. Hibble, incomplete, a diving attempt by Trent Smith, the tight end. And suddenly it is second down and 10, and there's just no enthusiasm right now for OU.
Well, Quentin Griffin has not been able to get off at all. He went for 237 yards last week against Tulsa, and everybody said, all right, we got the physical run game going. Today, Quentin Griffin, what's he got? 9 yards. He's 9 carries for 3 yards. Look at that. Look at that stat.
They put one of their speed fellas in. Ronaldo Works, the junior from Tulsa, has come in, and you would not expect it to be a decoy. He hasn't seen much action today, and it was high and incomplete. Moving over on him was Derek Pope, a linebacker, and it has been a tale of 2 halves, as our Pacific Life game summary will show you how Oklahoma dominated the first half. Airborne to Clayton, not once, but twice, from 2 different quarterbacks. But then in the second half, Alabama moves center stage. Touchdown Taylor. Fake by Bearden. Touchdown Bama. Now it is third down and 10.
And remember, Oklahoma is working into the wind, coming into their face here in the fourth quarter.
And remember the last home game for OU a year ago. They were beaten by Oklahoma State. Nate Hibble looking for the open man. Right at the first down marker that time. Clayton.
He's short.
Did he come back inside it?
He did. Came back to the ball. I think he's short. That was my first view from up here. It's very, very close. This is Nate Hibble's best throw of the second half, but there's not much to choose from. Good protection. Finally got time to step into a throw. Good throw. Comes back, puts it right on the numbers. But no cheapies. Alabama's giving no cheap deep throws. They're making Oklahoma earn every yard. I think it's short, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Still 9:39 to go.
Now, what do you do now? It's Bob's turn to make a key decision. I mean, the way they're punting the ball, this is what you get paid the big bucks for, right?
Exactly.
He's going to punt it, or he's going to fake it, one of the two.
Yeah. Considering how special teams play has been today, you never know what you're going to see next.
You know what really that is? That means that Oklahoma's likely only to get the ball back twice more in this game.
Shad Williams back deep now. So we're going to take a break with 9:39 to go. And Bama up a point. Can't believe it's the same 2 teams, Gary.
It is hard. You couldn't find 2 people in this press box that were from Alabama that thought they could come back into the second half of this football game. Only the guys on that sideline really felt they had a chance. And Oklahoma went into halftime and thought they had it. And it looks like Bobby Stoops has changed his mind.
4th down, and he better make this one.
He's going to get some heart up there, too. That's a big part of
Carter
that
and
game.
Hibble lined up. This was a touchdown. They're going to hand it off. First down, and almost broken by Jones. Kewan Jones gets the first down, and OU keeps possession.
They pull around and lead right here with the fullback. This is a play they've been working on in practice. Are we tough enough? They've been saying all spring and all fall that we're a different, tougher team. And right then, they had to prove it.
And Brad Davis did it for Kevin Wilson, the new line coach, the left guard from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, number 69, threw a critical block on that 4th down play. And now a fresh set of downs at the 30-yard line. Oklahoma down a point. Bobble on the snap, and Hibble will go down. There's flags all over.
Yeah, I think Quentin Griffin went in motion that time. I don't know if that was supposed to be a direct snap to the running back or not, but that was discombobulated.
Prior to the snap, false start, movement in the offensive line, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, still first down.
Well, time permitting, stay tuned for the Thrifty Carvana postgame report. We'll have scores and highlights from John and Terry from across the country. This one's still got a ways to go, though, fellas. 9-10. We approach the top of the hour, close to 6 o'clock.
Every time you think you got this football game figured out, you get one of these games that just turn it all inside out, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. First down and 15. Incomplete. Smith had to go diving again, and let's check in with John Saunders in New York.
Brent, we told you that Stanford was up on BC, but back comes Boston College. Derek Knight busts through a huge hole, 12 yards for the touchdown. Boston College, you can see, takes the lead with 36 seconds left. That's where it stands right now, 34-27. And Miami has just scored again. They lead Florida now 19-10, just about halftime there. Brent.
All right, John, and here Alabama has stormed back in the second half to take a 24-23 lead on Oklahoma. Second down and 15 for the Sooners. And the slant is knocked away beautifully by number 9, Anthony Madison, the sophomore from Thomasville, Alabama.
And Anthony Madison has come in for Herschel Bolden. That's where Bolden was playing in the first half. Now number 9, who they say had a great spring. Look at him react to this play. Was it interference? He might have come through his back, but you know what? He got his hand on the football, and I think that's good defensive play.
Well, here comes an even bigger play for Oklahoma, if you will. Now, third down and 15.
When you have minus 9 yards in the second half, they're all big.
Hibble runs away from trouble, but he won't get the pass off. Now he throws it away, and there's a penalty flag. The linesman threw it right at him as he just
they might call it intentional grounding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nate Hibble on the pass rush, his eyes are going down to the rush. He's not keeping him downfield. As this pocket starts to collapse on him, and you'll see Alabama's only bringing 3 guys. The pocket collapse, and right away his eyes come down. He doesn't have him upfield, and then right at the end of the play he throws it, and I think they're saying it might have been intentional grounding. There was no one there. Boy, 3-man rush, and they're just putting pressure on him.
Against the offense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Also loss of down, 4th down.
There'll be no fake this time. Ferguson punting. Shad Williams on the field. You would think, but you don't want to guess with Alabama's special teams. You would think they'd set a return right now. Leading by a point, 8:43. The most important thing you would think for Bama is to secure the ball and set up whatever kind of a ball control, time-consuming drive that they might muster behind Galloway.
Oh, shit.
And this is a shanked punt. This gives Alabama an opportunity for the upset. Half a field to play with 8.5 minutes to go, and they lead it by a point after the 27-yard punt. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you. Nothing's better. Dr. Pepper. Nike. And Olive Garden, where great Italian food and wonderful wines tell you when you're here, you're family.
I think Oklahoma now has to force the action. They're going to have to gamble. They think they have two great cornerbacks. They have to match them up man-to-man and try to blow up this Alabama offense before it gets started. Alabama, a couple first downs, and they're going to just run this clock under 5 minutes.
Well, Tyler Watson, a lot of these youngsters had a chance to leave Alabama after probation, but they decided to stay. And we asked Tyler, Jack Arute did when he was down in Tuscaloosa, why did the players stay at that school?
To be able to wear that crimson jersey, it's something huge. A lot of people dream of it, and they weren't going to trade that in for anything. NCAA, sanctions or not, playing here is still a lot better than playing at a lot of other places.
So there you have it, as the youngsters are 8 minutes away from a big upset of Oklahoma here. 2nd down and 5 for Watts and Galloway and the Alabama offense. Here's Galloway, slashes for the first down at the 35. Let's check in with Jack.
Brent, when we were down in Alabama, I asked Coach Franchione and Les Koenig, what the secret weapon would be if they came up to have to go against this Oklahoma Sooner defense. Both of them, without hesitation, said Tyler Watts. Why? Because they said his leadership in the huddle and at the line is actually superior to anything they've seen before. But more importantly, they said after 5 years in Alabama football, we know that he will put us in a position to win.
1st down and 10. Here's Watts changing it up. He has freedom out there. He'll keep it. Twist inside the 35. Well, Gary, you know that I've long held the theory that despite whatever hype happens in the summer, that any school that loses great players to the NFL is going to feel it. Roy Williams and Rocky Kalmus were 2 great college football players here for Mike Stoops. Williams the safety, Kalmus the linebacker. And yeah, they can bring in some speed and all of that, but I'm a big guy for experience and ability to make big plays. We saw Williams make big play after big play. We haven't seen one here since Straight's interception in the first half.
Right. And that was made by Tommy Harris helping it out, but no one has made. Looks very soft defense by Oklahoma. They're not up at the line of scrimmage. They need the ball back. They have to stop this team. They're still back. They don't have their safeties at the line of scrimmage. I don't see any 9-man fronts. I don't think Alabama's going to be throwing the ball all around right now.
Well, Sanders, the H-back, got the carry that time, and this will bring up a 3rd and 6.
Everybody for Oklahoma on their front all got their hands on their hips down there. One big stop. Alabama needs 7 yards.
If they don't get it, will they go for a long field goal? Up by 1. Watts, quarterback draw. Close to the 1st down marker. He has stood up very close to it, ladies and gentlemen.
Brent, that was just a read by Tyler Watts. That was not a called quarterback draw play. Good coverage in the secondary, and Watts recognized very quickly that his best chance to pick up a 1st down was to take it right up the gut.
So here come the sticks. 5:36, and if you're a Oklahoma fan, the measurement doesn't get any bigger than this. Saturday, we've got a football regional doubleheader on ABC. Ohio State takes on Washington State, USC, Colorado. Then at night, of course, you'll see Nebraska, Penn State, or Texas, North Carolina. 5.5 minutes to go. Alabama with the ball at the OU 26. On first down, incomplete. They stopped the clock, 2nd and 10. What do you think about that call, Gary?
Well, they tried to get one out there in the flat. I think goal line defense was on the play, and I think you trust your senior quarterback to do it. But big number 97, Tommy Harris, blew that play up, and Watts smartly threw it away. I like the way Alabama keeps attacking. They just keep probing, keep attacking. Nothing. They're trusting their 5th-year quarterback not to make a serious mistake.
2nd down and 10. 5:10 to go. Watts in trouble. Down at the 32-yard line. Pasha Jackson. So we're at Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. Jack Arute and Gary Anderson. I'm Brett Musburger. In the second half, the Crimson Tide rolled. Galloway stormed into the end zone. Williams blocked a punt. Taylor dashed into the end zone. Then on a fake field goal, Bearden, the punter, and the holder slammed into the end zone, and Alabama leads it by 1 point. 4:37 to go. Here's 3rd down and 15. Mike Stoops and the D came that time. Will they come back after Tyler Watts now one more time? They show 3 down linemen. They're coming at him from the corner. Can't get there, but they force Watts up into the middle, and he is down at the 29-yard line. Jonathan Jackson. Mike checking that clock, still running at 4:11. 2 timeouts left, the board shows, for Oklahoma. Now they send Ziefel onto the field. And here's Bearden, the holder.
I think Franchione would love, obviously, to make this kick, Brett, but I think he'd take anything but a block.
It'll be a 45-yard attempt. Strong leg.
Boom.
Got it. Ziefel makes it 4 and means they cannot lose to a field goal right now in the last 3.5 minutes. OU must score a touchdown to win this game. Let's look back to 1963. Bud Wilkinson of Bear Brown. Watch this pass by Broadway Joe. None prettier than that. And in the Orange Bowl, Alabama beats Oklahoma. Remember, they played 2 bowl games. They tied in the Bluebonnet Bowl. That one won by Alabama. So they're 1-0-1. And they are 3:37 away from a 2nd victory. Broadway Joe's probably down there at the Loxahatchee Club in Jupiter, Florida, probably watching this one, sitting on the edge of his chair, having played about 18 or 36 today, Gary.
Well, I'm sure he's watching now. I'll tell you that. But he's not playing an extra 9 with this game going down like this. 3:37. Oklahoma has to think 4-down territory. They have 2 timeouts. Anything close, they're going to go for it on 4th down. Remember, they burned a timeout to go for it on 4th down last time, so they only have 2 timeouts left in the game.
So Perkins and Savage are back deep.
Taking off number 44, Bearden. Ethan Simmers, number 28, Perkins, and Savage.
Let's change that when they called one. They have 2 right now. 17 yards passing in the half. 3 of 16. My.
Coming out on the 20-yard line, 3:33 to go. And Jack Arute will be hurrying to get an airplane to get out of here for the battle for the Indy Racing League Championship. Tell us about that race up in Chicago.
Well, Brent, plan on it being about as close as this game, because between Marlboro Team Penske and that man, the Pennzoil Panther machine of Sam Ornish, it is going right down to the wire. But they've also got an awful lot of different competitors. We've had so many different winners this season, Brent, that it's not necessarily do you win the race, it's just get enough points to take it to Texas next week.
3:32 to go for OU. They're 80 yards away, and they must score a touchdown. Hibble goes deep, got an open man, incomplete. Fagan was wide open that time, and Hibble overthrew him.
He did. He needed to throw that more on the line that time because Wayne Bacon, the safety, once Hibble gave the little hitch fake to the outside, Bacon, the safety, was climbing all over that throw. And if it would have stayed in the field down that deep, Bacon, I think, would have ate it up. He needed to shoot it right over that defensive back hard to the outside. Too much air.
Alabama keeps 4 defensive linemen, keeping the pressure on the offensive line. Inside, shuttle pass. Ronaldo works, looking for daylight. Ronaldo works out to the 44-yard line and out of bounds. He's a speed burner, 24 yards.
In fact, when we talked to the coaches yesterday, they said that Works is really the only back with breakaway speed, the long speed. Here's the shovel pass inside. Works gets it, cuts back very smartly this time, and then his speed allows him to get around the corner to the outside for the biggest play of the second half for Oklahoma.
3:18 to go. Fake to Griffin. Hibble underthrew and incomplete. Fagan again working the right side.
All deep routes that time. Nate Hibble had no one to dump that ball off to and just move the chains type throw. Everybody was down about 20 yards. Nothing easy for Hibble. The difference, Watts had the great second half. Hibble has struggled here in the second half, but you know, Brent, so has his whole team. The defense, the running game, everything has struggled.
Second down and 10. And was that a lateral? No, it was not. Incomplete pass. Savage.
Another one of those screen passes to the wide receiver that was thrown to the wrong hip. You cannot lead the defender, the offensive receiver that time, Savage, backwards. It has to be thrown to his downfield shoulder, his right shoulder in this case, and that's what kind of mixed up Savage on the play. Even if he caught it, he would have had heading backwards to begin with.
Here's third down again for OU.
Bob Stoops already has to start thinking, if we gain nothing on this play, do I punt the ball? Probably. 4th and 10, you do it.
With 3 minutes?
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't think so, but maybe. Got him, reaches for the first down. Antoine Savage.
Yep, right across the yellow line. And if the yellow line is correct, he got a first down. Oh, they brought it back. Oh, they single first down.
Now 2:53.
See it coming right in the middle, right there. That's the ball, and watch it just pitch. Savage just catches that ball, goes outside, and then cuts back right underneath Trent Smith that time. Perfect throw. Catches it, reaches out. I think that's a good call. First down. Now with under 3 minutes, it's 4-down territory the whole way. We're watching it. I'll tell you, Brett, Alabama has not backed up. They're not in a prevent.
Because of this. Works with his speed, breaks free again and still going. Needs a block. Down the sideline, inside to the 7-yard line. Ronaldo Works makes perhaps the biggest play of the game. 39 yards for Oklahoma as he came down the sideline and then crashed back across the 10. And OU will take a timeout.
The second shovel pass, huge shovel pass. This time it was defended very well, at least positionally, by Alabama, but no one could come up with the tackle. And Works showed that the coaches were right. He's got the fastest breakaway speed of the team, and he almost broke it away all the way. Very easy shovel pass. This should have been stopped. This should have been defense. Look at 3 guys right there that could have made this play. But he runs away from 3, cuts back, and boom, down the sideline for a huge play.
And the offense will huddle up on the sideline. Remember, Oklahoma needs a touchdown. Timeout. So Ronaldo Works has given Oklahoma a shot in the arm with his speed. 2 huge plays down the stretch for number 47. And the key thing is here, Gary, we've got 2:15. And Oklahoma now has taken It's second, or did Alabama take
Alabama took the timeout.
Alabama took that timeout.
Smart timeout, I think, by Alabama to kind of rest their guys, recompose themselves. This, I mean, Alabama's got to think right now in their own mind, let's make these 8 last yards here the toughest yards and learn every one of them. Remember, Oklahoma has not been able to run the ball all game, minus 31 yards on the ground.
Hibble brings them up. Jones is the running back.
Yeah, Kewan Jones is in there.
Here comes Jones. Touchdown! Oklahoma takes the lead. There's still plenty of time left. Ronaldo Works led the way. And Kewan Jones, the redshirt freshman from Jenks, Oklahoma, one of those schools that plays great high school football down here in this area, takes it in for the touchdown and puts the Sooners ahead.
Same play that Oklahoma ran on the 4th and inches with Jones. And the scout report on Jones is explosive downhill runner, and that's exactly what he did on that play.
DiCarlo. Now remember, Alabama needs a field goal to get this game into overtime, and we have seen a long leg. Seafull and the Tide are not quite yet finished.
Watch the backside guard pull this time. Downhill play. Nice. Right there. That's the physical line play that Brad Davis provided. Remember, Brent, on 4th down play was Brad Davis. And on 1st and goal from the 8, they again ran right behind Brad Davis on the pull.
So here's the man, Seafull.
Not going to be any more fakes. Next time they got to kick it. The shuffle pass. 2 shuffle passes. One, Works takes it and cuts back, and this one, he uses his speed to get outside. Alabama was well defended. They had all their players there, but Works makes a brilliant run.
That's just a great athletic achievement.
Absolutely.
By Ronaldo Works, right there. Number 47.
And the reason Ronaldo Works doesn't play more is he struggles a little bit with the other parts of the game, the blocking, the pickups, the mental side of it. When he gets his hands on the ball, he can move it.
Oklahoma wins this game, he'll be playing more. You can rest assured of that. The coaches won't forget his effort. But first things first, Tyler Watson, Alabama, will be coming out. Williams stopped at the 20-yard line. Now keep an eye on 97. Mr. Tommy Harris.
45 yards is the career long. 3rd down conversions in the game. You also remember it's all 4-down territory now. They're 4-17. Only 1 timeout remaining. Remember again, just a reminder, college football, if you get the 1st down, you stop the clock, move the chains.
Can they block 97?
Plenty of time. 2:03 in college football is an eternity.
Has this been a great college football game or what? Here's Watts. Tried to step away from the pressure. And he is brought down at the 20 by Pasha Jackson.
That was the zone blitz that was dialed up by Mike Stoops. They rush off the strong safety and drop Jimmy Wilkerson, the defensive end, to the middle of the field. Overload one side and drop the defensive end to the other side.
The Oklahoma sideline urging the crowd on for 2nd and 11.
Here he comes again. Bassey.
Open. Got the 1st down. Out at the 32-yard line, it'll be first down and the clock stops as Sam Collins, the possession man, does it again.
He's had a good game, Sam Collins. Remember, he caught the pass down there that one time on the all-seam route, pulled it down in the reverse, caught the tip ball for the first down. Sam Collins had a big game for Alabama.
1:21 to go. Harris couldn't quite get there, and the pass is completed. They cross midfield, and they give themselves a chance. Triando Saluk on the big play as Harris couldn't quite get there, the rush man.
The defensive line for Oklahoma is sucking wind big time. There's really no pass rush happening from the front four right now. Everybody has their hands on their hips. They can barely get down in their stance, and then let alone put pressure on the quarterback.
Incomplete, as Theo Sanders can't quite get the handle on that. And that time it was the Alabama center, Alonzo Ephraim, who did a great job of blocking in the middle of that offensive line right there, number 58.
Ephraim's an all-SEC center matched up against the heart of that Oklahoma defensive line. Tommy Harris done a good job on it. Harris made some plays. Ephraim's made some plays.
Harris moves over to the offense's left this time. Second down and 10. He's double teamed, got no chance, and the pass is complete. Short of the first down. Clock continues to run. Well, here's our Chevrolet players of the game, regardless of what happens. And we're going to go an unusual selection, but what a game Lane Bearden had. A successful onside kick. He recovered it. A fake field goal. He scored a touchdown. Ronaldo works. He brought Oklahoma down the field and gave them a chance to win it 30-27. Last 36 seconds down. Got out of one hand, picked up. Oklahoma will win it. Touchdown, Eric Bassey. The ball got away from Tyler Watts. A heartbreak for a young man who played so bravely here today.
The ball slipped out of Tyler Watts' hands as he went to throw it. And guess who? It wasn't Roy Williams, but it's the guy that replaced Roy Williams. Eric Bassey was in the right place at the right time, picks it up, takes it for the touchdown. Watch. Watts comes back, goes to throw it, and it drops out of the back of his hand. Bloop. There's the fumble. Bassey scoops it up, and then the touchdown.
An extra point is good. Well, what can you say, folks? Oklahoma survives. Will that be the headline up in Oklahoma City tomorrow?
Goalpost is right in front of Watts as he throws this ball. It slips out backwards. There it is, free, tipped out, and there it is. And, you know, Bassey almost pulls a Leon Lett, puts his hands up a little too quickly here, and almost knocked down from behind. Bassey cannot even breathe. He is just, his chest is just crushed trying to suck air. Alabama needed about 10 more yards to get a shot at a field goal. A lot of people might question whether Alabama should have took a timeout on third down. I don't think so. I think the offense has the advantage in this situation. You've got Oklahoma on the run. It's third down. You know what you're doing. Don't let them set the defense up. And all of a sudden, your fifth-year senior quarterback has one of those things that happen that you just can't explain. It just slips out of your hand.
SBT, baby. Got him, baby. Represent.
Think those guys sleep at all tonight, this coaching staff, after this one?
I think one of the things they show is Oklahoma rushing minus 23 yards in this football game.
But they will show that highlight of Ronaldo Works winding his way down the sideline over and over again. Short kickoff, fair catch at the 33-yard line, and Let's thank some folks here. The executive producer of ABC Sports, Howard Katz. Senior producer, Bob Toms. Coordinating producer, the producer of today's game, Bobby Goodrich. Directors, Larry Cam. TD, Monty Poling. Our associate producer, the Z-Man, Drew Kaliski. Associate director, Brian Fay. Technical manager, Mark Towie. And our production manager, Christy Bravey. Thanks to one and all, Brody Croyle trots onto the field to close this one out. The 45-yard return has sealed it away. Oklahoma's rushing game as down he goes at the 25. You know, Gary, you talked about the rushing game. Before today, the fewest yards ever rushing for OU was -11 against Colorado back in 1999. Today, -23 is the net total. Now, there were some sacks in there, and that does not. This young man had the play of the day. And there it is. Oklahoma wins it by 10. 37-27. Dennis Franchione and the Alabama coaching staff can be awfully proud and pleased, though, with the play of their team, especially in the second half. Great respect between the two coaches. Let's go down to Jackaroo. Jack.
Coach, talk to me for a moment. He takes the congratulations. Talk to me for a moment the importance of your team having been in big games before.
It matters. I tell you, we're upset. To play so well in one half and so poorly in the other, and give Alabama's an excellent program. I told the team at halftime they're not done, but there is a difference in winning and losing. And for our players to hang in there and to win when we had to, I'm never going to undervalue that. I appreciate it, and there's a difference between winning and losing. We knew it today.
The shovel pass to Ronaldo works. Is that what it all pivoted on?
Sure. Big, huge play. Ronaldo had a great run. And then, just to cap off the drive, we powered it in. We thought, hey, let's get in a power set and punch it in, and caught them maybe by surprise. But we're fortunate. Really poor in some kicking areas and some things we've got to get corrected. Alabama, excellent program. Great hard-fought game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
So here is the play that Bobby Stoops and the Oklahoma staff will cherish for a long time. Alabama was about to stage the upset when Ronaldo Works made his way down the sideline and cut back inside the 10-yard line and set up the winning touchdown. Let's go to Jack with Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, tell me about that shovel pass.
The line blocked great, and the rest of it, I just ran down, and everybody was blocking great. We did the best we could, and I got a long run.
Yeah, but what about the commitment that you made? It looked like you were going to carry everybody into the end zone.
I just wanted to get in there. We were down, and everybody blocked, and, it all worked out.
Brent?
All right, Jack, thank you very much. Good job. You too, Gary. And right now, let's send it to John Saunders and Terry Bowden in New York. Take it away, gentlemen.
Ronaldo Works, very understated, 2 carries for 62 yards. But the point made by Jack Root and Bob Stoops, there's no substitute for having been in big games like this before.
If you look back, if they do have the great year and they win a lot of football games, they're going to beat a lot of people. What happens, there's one game where you won just because you wouldn't give up, you wouldn't quit. A lot of issues tonight for Oklahoma. They got a lot of problems with offense and defense, but they came back, and I think they showed why they can be a championship team. They didn't think they were going to lose.
Championship medal against tradition. It always comes down to that. It was absolutely terrific. Stick around when we come back. The Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. Again, Oklahoma pulls out the victory, 37-27 over Alabama.
Alabama rolls into Norman to face the third-ranked Sooners. OU in red, Bama in white, just so you know. Lane Bearden can't handle the punt snap, so he really wanted to kick the ball, though, so he kicked it out of the end zone. OU's ensuing drive, down by 1. Jason White, 32-yard touchdown pass to Mark Clayton. PAT good. Sooners up 9-3. After a turnover, Sooners trying to field goal, and Trey DiCarlo has the kick blocked by Bama. Charles Jones runs it back to, well, let's call it the 40-yard line. Late in the first, it's Jason White running with the ball, and he just goes right down. White needed help off the field. He's got a torn ACL. Late in the second, Sooners up 9-3. Nate Hibble in at QB now, and he throws to Mark Clayton. Clayton with a couple of touchdown catches in this one. One from each quarterback. Sooners led 16-3. Third quarter, OU punting. Leslie Williams of Bama blocks it, and Lance Taylor recovers and runs it into the end zone. Great special teams play in this game. Bama's now only down 23-17. They were down 23-3 at one point. Bama with the fake field goal. Lane Bearden runs it in 3 yards to the end zone. After the PAT, it's 24-23 Alabama. Do we have an upset brewing? 2 minutes to play. Kewan Jones from the 8, straight up the gut. He's not hit till he reaches the goal line and goes in to give OU the lead. And then, with under 40 seconds to play, Tyler Watts just loses the ball trying to throw. There's no tuck rule there. Eric Bassey gets the ball and runs it all the way back in. And the final 37-27, and now we take you out to Norman, Oklahoma for Bob Stoops' news conference.
And I don't care what anyone says, sanctions, no sanctions. You know, they just won the SEC championship just a few years ago, I guess just 2 years before Coach Francione was there. And, you know, that's a prideful program, and they've got a lot of good players, and I knew it was going to be a battle.
It looked to me like they really went back to the offense. I expected them to run the entire game. The first half, I'm not sure I saw the real Alabama that, you know, I expected to see with the running game and the play action, those kind of things. Do you feel that way?
Well, we met, you know, again, not to take anything away, they executed better in the second half. Basically, it was 2 plays, the lead draw and the power. Well, 2 plays that we've worked on hard, you know, all week. We knew they were coming. We see those from a lot of people. We pride ourselves in being able to play them. We played them in the first half. We were out of position on a number of them in the second half, and that's where some creases come.
Well, you know, the running back, I thought, did a great job of getting 2 or 3 yards after tackle. But to me, the quarterback was the thing that made the running game go. With his scrambles, with his extra yard, it just seems like he moved the stakes.
He's a good player. He's a scrapper, and he did. He made some nice plays pulling the ball down, picking up a first down. And you know, again, they've got some talented players over there as well.
Anything you feel like in losing Jason White that was a negative for the offense? You know, did it discourage them or anything? Did it change anything that you do?
It really didn't. It didn't change anything. We've said all along, and we weren't just giving media talk. We've got great confidence in Nate. He has been exceptional through the spring and the summer, and we knew if ever that situation came, our guys have a lot of confidence in Nate. We do as coaches, and he showed it tonight. Made some excellent throws, and you know, so no, we didn't change a thing, and I don't believe the offense ever blinked.
The kicking game, obviously, for both teams was a disaster today. Have you ever been in a game that there were many big, bad plays, really, in the kicking game?
Yeah, it's terrible. It was really poor. You know, just fielding some bloop kickoffs, and you know, just some basic fundamental errors. You know, everyone works the heck out of their punt team. We work twisting people every day, and you have someone doesn't pick up a twist, and there it is. You know, it's aggravating, but it's something that, again, you go back to the drawing board on Monday. You work the heck out of it all week, and that's what you hopefully you get better at as you go through the year. We have in the past. Hopefully we can this time.
Yeah, obviously both teams had field goal blocks. It was really unbelievable. What about Ronaldo Works there in that fourth quarter?
Ronaldo got a game ball, came up big in the fourth quarter, a huge run, and really proud of him to step in and make such a big play. You know, really exciting.
The way he was throwing himself into that run, the longer it went, I thought he might score.
He almost did. You know, he was cutting back, trying to get some more, and really a great effort on his part, and some good downfield blocking by the receivers. Ronaldo kept cutting off him. It was a big play.
A bright spot for me, I hope, you know, the coaches feel the same way as Runnels and what he does blocking at fullback.
No question. J.D. Runnels, you notice, you know, we go for it on 4th and inches, and we almost broke that one with Kewan off tackle, and J.D. had a big block on that. And then the winning touchdown, we thought, you know, let's tighten it down, catch them off guard, getting our power set and crush it up the middle and see what happens. And there was a hole. You could have drove a truck through it, you know, for the winning touchdown. And again, J.D. had a big block initially on that, and the offensive line was really strong in that area.
That was a fantastic call. That's probably the call of the day. That was about the last thing I would have expected with that clock running the way it was.
Right. We knew we had two timeouts. And
do you feel like that offensively, either in play selection or in the quarterback. Got a little bit conservative in the third quarter. Didn't seem to throw as sharper as well.
No, I can't say that we did. We didn't intend to. If we did, it wasn't by design. We wanted to have the same plan we had in the first half. Probably I don't know, probably in the end maybe should have threw deep a little more, as we did in the first half and got some big plays. But, we just got out of rhythm and couldn't catch it, and really struggled for a good part of the second half.
You and your staff remarked all week about how much like this.
All right, so after shutting out Tulsa 37-0 in week 1 and beating Alabama by 10 today, here's a look at the Oklahoma Sooners schedule. They don't have a week off until after Iowa State being a home game, and then they have a week off before they have to play Colorado. Of course, they've got at Missouri and at Texas coming up in October.
First half of 23-3, but now it's 23-17. Alabama going for the field goal. Fake, trickeration. Lane Bearden up and over. Yamo B there, the punter, scoring the touchdown. Fran has his team up by 1. Alabama up by 4. Oklahoma with a gutsy drive. Kewan Jones scoring. Oklahoma had minus 23 yards of offense before that 80-yard drive, and this is the killer. Tyler Watts just flat dropped it. And Eric Bassey, Roy Williams' replacement, making a big play.
And not a bad job by his replacement. The key to this game was defense on both sides of the ball. But the Oklahoma defense, when they had to have it, at the end of the game, to come up with a big play and lead their football team, they came up with that huge play.
And, I think maybe the problem for Oklahoma was the rushing situation. Yes. They were in negative yards, and even if you take away the sack yardage, which counts against your rushing totals in college football, Oklahoma just 9 yards rushing. See if Oklahoma needs to work on that. Teams that are mirror images of each other in tradition. Right now, Oklahoma's a little more American Idol, and in the NCAA's eyes, Alabama's been more like America's Most Wanted. Trying to come out there, prove a point. Oklahoma with that Sooner schooner going. All about special teams. Opening kickoff, and Fran breaks out the onside kick. Lane Bearden recovering. Alabama got a field goal out of it. Then Lance Taylor partially blocks a punt for the tie. More special teams. Alabama tried a field goal. Andre Woolfolk's up there to reject it, and then Lane Bearden lets the snap go through his hand, kicks it out for a safety.
You must be sound in this kicking.
And they weren't. Combined for both teams, 4 block kicks, 4 fumble kick returns, and botch snap there. 3-2 game. Jason White in the top of the first, I guess. Firing Mark Clayton, a touchdown pass. Oklahoma on top, 9-3. Late in the first, here comes Jason White, and just as he did last year, goes down with a cruciate. The other knee this time, torn ACL. That brings Nate Hibble off the bench. And Stoops told me before the season started that Hibble had the best camp he's ever had. And he dropped one on Clayton here.
Nice to have Nate Hibble as your backup quarterback. I thought he played very well. Showed poise and early threw the ball deep, vertically down the field to help his team.
Oklahoma taking control now, 16-3 again. It's Clayton again. And we'd be dragged down deep in Thailand. Hibble would score on the sneak, 23-3. Oklahoma's in control at halftime. Surely this thing is all over against that vaunted Oklahoma defense until Ahmad Galloway. The tie goes on a 12-play, 66-yard march. They cut it to 23-10. And here comes the Alabama defense and Antoine Odom.
Look, I don't know what happened at halftime, but Alabama came out in the second half, and I'm telling you, they flat outplayed Oklahoma. They dominated both sides of the ball.
And punting block. Lance Taylor blocked one before. Now he scoops it up 6, and the Tide's back in it at 23-17. Alabama gets it back. Michael Ziefel to kick the field goal to cut it to 3. No, fake. Lane Bearden again, up and over. Yamo B there, and Alabama has the lead, 24-23. A field goal made it 27-23. Oklahoma had done nothing on offense the whole second half, but here comes Ronaldo Works.
Nice job following his blockers, weaving his way through. But what I like, he's got the ball in the right hand going down the sidelines. But he makes move after move. He won't go down, picking up the extra yardage, running down the field to play.
Gutsy championship drive by the Sooners, and Kewan Jones smashing in there. Oklahoma back on top, 30-27. Tyler Watts gets it in Oklahoma territory and just
Platt drops the ball. Eric Bassey. Who Eric Bassey replaced in the lineup?
Guys, was it Roy Williams?
You are correct, sir. Eric Bassey, perhaps the fastest man on the team, scoops it up. Oklahoma wins the thing by 10, much closer than that. Yes. Alabama really dominated the second half of play, and Oklahoma got nothing trying to run the football, guys. So Alabama certainly had a tremendous and valiant effort, and you have to applaud them for that, and certainly Bob Stoops was able to do just that. Bob Stoops was talking about the way the Crimson Tide got back up off the deck, but his team made plays their champion makes.
Ronaldo had a great run, and then, you know, just to cap off the drive, we powered it in. We thought, hey, let's get in a power set and punch it in, and caught them maybe by surprise, but we're fortunate. Really poor in some kicking areas and some things we've got to get corrected. Alabama, excellent program. Great hard-fought game.
All right, you look at the second half offense, and Oklahoma had one first down before that final drive. They got really nothing on the ground. You take away sack yardage in college football, but you do without that and just figure out what Oklahoma got trying to run the ball from the line of scrimmage. They had 9 yards, guys, 9 yards. Does this point out some problems for Oklahoma in the grand scheme? Is it a little bit more than just a good defensive effort by Alabama?
Well, I think you got to give Alabama credit, but I think the bottom line is Oklahoma's offense is not good enough right now. I mean, you cannot run. Last week they did a great job of running the football. This way, it seems like they can't do both. And when you get into the big games, when you play Texas, you're going to have to do both. But I think Nate Hibble made plays when he had to down the stretch, and that's why they won the game.
And that's about being a championship-type football team, is making plays. The key is when the Oklahoma defense had to step up to the plate and hit one out, they did. At the end of the ball game, their backs were against the wall, and that's the bottom line. Bob Stoops recruits athletes for his defense. He got athletic plays at the end of the game when he needed it. Was it a stellar game for this football team in the second half against Alabama? No, but they came up with the big plays when they had to.
Let me say this. They will not beat Texas October 12th with that kind of offensive performance. That's just the bottom line of this team.
Mark, are you on board with that?
They will not beat Texas with that offensive performance right there. It's not good enough.
I disagree. I think they will beat Texas, and I'm going to tell you why. He's going to shore up this offense. They're going to be able to run the ball with Quentin Griffith. They're going to make some changes on this offensive line, and they will take the ball, run it right at Texas, and put pressure on Chris Sims. That's the key to this football game. Put pressure on that quarterback of Texas, and he will throw interceptions.
You know, that defense is a very good defense. But come on, Alabama moved the ball on that defense today.
Yeah, they did. They ran the ball on the ground. They moved it through the air pretty well. Had a few drop passes that could have changed things, but Oklahoma made plays, and that's the bottom line. We'll see if they're able to do that.
Titles between these two teams. First quarter, it's 3-2. 3-2. First and 10 for the 33. Jason White. Mark Clayton's back in football. 32-yard touchdown. Sooners up 9-3. Next possession, Oklahoma. Jason White running option, plants his leg, and it did not plant well. The knee buckles. Turn away if you don't like to see cruciates and other such things. The replays, he plants, crumbles to the ground, and he is in some kind of pain. Initial report, a torn ACL. It's the second quarter, same score. Alabama has the ball, 2nd and 3. 23, make that. Brody Coyle, the handoff. Santonio Beard put the ball on the floor. Oklahoma recovers. Very next play. Nate Hibble now in a quarterback. He was the guy last year. He has protection. It's Mark Clayton's second touchdown, 51-yarder here. Sooners go out 16-3, lead 23-3 at the half. Second half, Bama coming. Oklahoma's looking to punt. Leslie Williams, he got a mid on it. Lance Taylor's going to take it on in, so Alabama's down 23-17. Alabama ball. 21-yard field goal. Oh, they are fakey. Chicanery. Lane Bearden runs it in from 4. Alabama all of a sudden with the lead by 1. Now Alabama up 27-23. Hibble puts it to Ronaldo Works. Track meet. Leaps 2 players. 39-yard scramble. All over the field, low live. Setting up this first and goal. John Jones right up the middle, 8 yards. Sooners take the lead right back, 30-27. Alabama driving now. 2 minutes under that. Tyler Watt stepping back. Loose is the football. Eric Bass takes it 45 yards, and that's going to seal this football game. We will now check out the replay. Watts had it, then he didn't. Bloopers, all that. Bob Stoops is much pleased.
Everyone knows there's a big difference in winning and losing. Some teams can win when they have to at the end. Others have trouble doing it. And I told the players that's not East Popcorn State that was just in here. That's Alabama.
Sooners win at 37-27, 12 non-conference wins in a row. Of course, you will recall
These same two teams last met in the 1970 Astro Bluebonnet Bowl.
The Oklahoma Sooners, late in the fourth. Bama needs a field goal to tie it. They're closing in. The ball escapes the hand of quarterback Tyler Watts. He was never touched. Ditto for Eric Basie here. He takes the gift 45 yards for the insurance policy. Oklahoma runs away with a thrilling 37-27 win.